master of all four elements could stop them, but when the world needed them most, he
I left
vanished.
y'all.
Yep.
100 years passed. My brother and I discovered a new avatar, an airbender named Aang. Although
He
his airbending
can't
skills are
really
great,
hear us, can he?
No, you can.
Sorry, no, I'll stop.
You're good. Hello,
Everyone say
everybody.
hello to the robot version of Sonder.
Hello.
Yeah, Sonder.
It's finally been
Sonder.
uploaded to the cloud.
Yeah, we're gonna get a
56K
Digi Sonder.
modem.
We're putting you into the Digiverse. You are now Digi Sonder. You're gonna evolve. Yep, there you go.
Yeah,
Wrong
man.
game. Wrong
If
game.
he gets put into the cloud, then that means my ass has to go get him. That's not fair.
Well, you know, it is what it is. I don't make the rules.
I'll cast Gust.
Because
Are
we-
you
we
passive
have
with
a
Personos? Or...
Soul and Arjun flip-flop situation occurring.
oh, yep. Forgot Arjun goes in the middle. There you go.
Oh my.
Yeah. I always put you guys in the same spot. I just always forget the bottom row. It always gets mix matched.
How can you forget the bottoms?
I don't. Okay, I'm not kidding.
Vastly, they are very important, and they get quite cross if you don't remember how important they are.
Gotta catch 'em all. Gotta catch 'em all.
I don't think this is the same
That'd be
conversation that Saunders having. Anyway, hope that you guys hope you guys are having a good night. We have a very exciting session ahead of us tonight. Maybe not. I don't really know. Whoever knows how these things are going to play out.
You do. You know how these things are gonna play out.
I don't though. Like it's one of those like it could go one way, but usually it winds up going the other way, and then I'm like over here. It's fine. Arjun and all right. So here we go. Announcement wise, thank you everybody for hold on. Thank you to everyone who hung out with us last night during the first episode of The Witch of Glenwood. It was a lot of fun. Had a great time. Iskra and Sonder playing the amazing brother and sister duo. Heckin' yeah. They were loved them. Loved it. If anything happens to Bijan, I will be very upset. I'm just throwing that out there, Dreamy.
It is a horror story. So.
And usually the comic relief and or sweet boy goes first. So, it is.
I feel like it's very either they go first or they are the ones that survive, but there's never an in between.
Bijan is gonna be Will. From Stranger Things.
Yeah.
I mean,
We'll
someone's
see.
never seen the blob.
Yeah. Good job, Dreamy, for her DMing skills. It's going to be a fun adventure to see how and where that storyline goes. So if you haven't seen it yet, check it out on our VOD. And next episode will be next Monday, 7 p.m. Central. Looking forward to that. What could possibly happen to a sweet boy with nightmares? Nothing. Nothing
Lots
can
of
happen
things.
to him, Dreamy.
What about
Nothing.
the supportive, loving sister who's trying to fit in and be cool?
Yeah,
Focus
like
on the
that
road
was
and hit
that,
pedestrians.
If we hear the sudden brrrr of him hitting the edges of the little road thing, oh no! All right,
Do you want
What else?
Afriels? Because this is how you get Afriels.
yeah. All right, guys. Otherwise, I think that's good. That's gonna be it for announcements tonight. Tomorrow night with Clickety Clackety, you can see Dreamy, Joom, and Trevor as they embark on perilous missions unknown in realms far, far away and a long time ago in a galaxy that's not ours, or something like that. Otherwise, I think that about covers it. So without further ado, we'll go ahead and jump into tonight's episode. Start off with a little intro, do a little recap, play a little D&D, scratch that dice itch. Here we go.
Bananas.
Boop. Hello, we're back.
Face.
Okay. So without further ado, we'll go ahead and jump into the recap. Take it away, Ardrin.
Melodious humming and the scent of wet earth and fresh bloom fill the air. The view of the camera steps into a verdant garden maze, lush roses erupting from the hedge walls. None more spectacular than that which resides at the center. A woman with long red hair, pale skin, and the fine, delicate features suggestive of an elf. Or some manner of fae. Her elegant gown is not mere material, but a swath of living, deep red roses. She all at once appears ethereally, exquisitely gentle, and as terrifyingly sharp as a razor that lingers too close to the throat. She smiles at the viewer. Hello, traveler. I am the Queen of Roses upon the Throne of Thorns. But for now, you may call me Iridia. Oh, you didn't watch last week's game of Santos. We'll have to remediate that now, won't we, darling? For a price. We begin in the early hours of the morning with Kindred. He was scrying on that curious creature Gabrielle the 46th, skulking in shadowy alleys, and just as it was getting interesting, he'd received a magical summons from one known as Amaranth, a powerful Lich diviner in the Thayan hierarchy that the Brigade had tangled with in the past. To charitably mixed results. He was to meet her in the market for what she deemed a shopping spree, telling no one else he brought Sol with him, who was already in his diminutive cat form. They stumble across a crime scene in Tyroturus. They stumble across a crime scene that Tyroturus's vaunted premonitors appear quite panicked over, suggesting that there are limits to their oracular capabilities. I'm sure that won't become relevant again anytime soon.
Nope.
Kindred recognizes this as where he saw Gabrielle, but there is nothing but ash and a blast-scarred afterimage on the wall. One could draw the reasonable conclusion that this was caused by hellfire. Amaranth, disguised as an old woman, caught Kindred's attention and courted him along. She revealed, or at least claimed, to have been instrumental in the Brigade's survival after the disastrous events in Deathjet. She also claimed that she would return the party's lost items to them for the low price of continuing their mission to find the fabled graveyard. She then made a point to try and forbid Kindred from mentioning any of this to the rest of the Brigade, though this was all said in front of Sol, who was not similarly warned. Curious that. What are her motivations for any of this? And does she actually possess said items? Or has she placed them along a predetermined path as a set of breadcrumbs for the party to follow? Iridia looks as though she's about to elaborate further, but then just smiles. I'm no diviner, darling. I don't deal in spoilers.
Love that.
Iskra had met up with the peculiar boy Maxwell, who began to discuss a relationship with some sort of voice in his head called Limbrender. Given his previous playful displays of power and the little vignette of dramatic irony where we saw him all but possessed, as he was the one to put Gabrielle out of her misery. Well, I'm sure you'll learn all about that soon enough. In any case, Iskra took a moment to meet up with poor, beleaguered Renan, who had spent the majority of his day toiling away in a sweatshop, all in the hopes of looking for an angle to retrieve his stolen circlet, to no avail. The pair of them decided to venture to the more upscale portion of the city, to see what they could glean and perhaps earn a coin by performing at a lovely little lounge bar. Wasn't long before they were approached by yet another set of individuals from the Silken Trade Company. Spurious de Laz appeared to offer them a role as performers for the next caravan trip to the east. As if to further demonstrate his means and wealth, he produced a circlet and wore it proudly, a circlet all too familiar to our cleric of the Tempest. Now, you might be wondering why I haven't mentioned Arjun at all of this. He is my champion, after all. You might also wonder why he doesn't dole out as much harshness as the others do in combat. For the same reason, darling, you haven't noticed the vines coiling around you. Bar-brittled vines begin to obscure the viewer's vision, choking out both light and life. The sharpest thorn is the one you aren't paying attention to. Now then, lovely, what shall I do with you?
Yeah.
Nice.
Well done. Well done.
Very good, very
Love to
good.
hear from Arjun's patron for you.
Mhm.
Very nice. Very nice.
I always require a frame device in order for me to do these, and it was the first time I went, I'm gonna use her for once.
Yeah.
Oh, I bet.
I think it's the other way around.
We're switches, remember?
Ooh la la.
Sonder, Hannah was wanting to know, Hannah Minshew from Bards in New York was like, did we already kill a PC and that's why Sonder isn't here? So, sorry.
Oh.
Hannah says you're dead now.
Foreshadowing.
Foreshadowing. And Iskra was like,
Hashtag canon.
Iskra's like, Iskra said capitalism killed Sonder. It's like, much better reason. It's okay. You're being safe. That's what matters.
Actually,
So-
capitalism did kill Santos.
That's what I'm saying.
Ultimate chat influence. I know. Hannah says it. You're dead. You're dead. I have no control. A bard has spoken it into existence. You know. Beware the bards. Beware
Sorry,
bards bearing
Sonder
gifts.
can't come to the cam right now. Why? Because he's dead.
Oh no. Okay.
I did post some pictures of Arjun's patron in the Discord.
Oh, sweet.
if anyone's curious.
So if you're not already part of the Knights of Silver Moon Discord, there is the link in which you can join us and check out all of the art that we post sometimes. Give you a little visuals as to what, why, where, all that kind of jazz. They're in campaign art. Yeah, I love it. I love it. Okay. That being said, getting started here tonight. We left off with a little bit of a scatter everywhere. As Iskra and Renan are currently at the Shining Coin. Shining Eye. Where you guys are playing for your supper, kind of. Playing music, singing, and have just recently made the acquaintance of one Spurious de Laz, I believe. Oh no, Perindol de Gormiel, who had showed a little bit of an interest in your musical stylings and had tipped rather nicely. To which he and his companions, also from the Silken Trading Company, had been lounging and enjoying Istra's dulcimer playing and In doing so, one of them seemed to have pulled out a little circlet that he had just bought or had been bought for him. None other than Renan's circlet that had been seen in the shop earlier. Let's switch this up a little bit. Oh yes. Can't type and saute at the same time. That's fine. So while that is happening, we had the rest of the gang was back at the Twisted Coin, right?
Yeah. Yes.
Where Soul had gone to get something to drink. Or not something to drink. Had to go take a bath. Go take a bath. I knew there was water involved. He tried to get away from the table because of trying to make sure that he didn't spill the beans.
Well, it started getting hot all of a sudden, and he was sweating a lot. And,
so there was
flames on the side of his face.
So there was that. And Kindred, Sonder, Galil, and Ardrin, you guys were there at the hotel as well. I do not recall, was there anything that you guys were going to do at that point? Or for that afternoon?
We wanted to go check back in with the guy because he's like, show me what you got.
Gotcha. All right, so that's on the docket. All right, so then on that note, we will go ahead and start with Iskra and Renan, as you are currently hold on. I know I have the music that was playing before. So Renan
Picking up where we left off,
Yeah.
Renan just watched a circlet that is kind of important to him,
Yeah.
based upon the head of Monsieur de Gomio.
So that being said, and I think you had said last time that Renan, your composure check had succeeded. So
Barely.
yeah. So what are you guys doing for anything in the moment? Continuing to play and see how things play out. What are you doing? That was a stretch. I'm sorry. I apologize. That was really bad.
Was it?
Well, we got really high performance rolls. I'm just gonna keep going.
And I intend to reluctantly do the same. At the end of that song, I will make eye contact with Iskra, and given how well Iskra knows Renan, his expression is very forced. You've seen plenty of natural expressions, even when it comes to anger or sadness, but right now he's got this hyper stoic face plastered on with just like twinges of something that keeps popping up.
I think it's when you're called your eye twitching, right?
Pretty much.
Blepharospasms.
Yeah, that one. All right. So you just continue to play. Okay.
Seeing that I could tell that Renan is having a hard time, once we're done with our current song, I'll just kind of, not really trying to project really loudly, but let the people nearby know that we're going to take a quick break, but we'll be back in a moment.
Alrighty, cool. So once the song finishes, you go ahead and retire for the moment, because that song will go on for a minute. So I'll go and just bring it to a close there. You see everybody, there's a couple little very fancy little hookahs that are brought out for those that are relaxing here in the lounges and stuff. And as you guys finish, you do have a few that come up, and there's like the very polite little like clapping that happens as you guys finish, and then as you kind of take a break, there's a few that come up and toss in a few coins. Counting your recent larger donation of 10 gold, plus the other ones, we'll say in total you have 27 gold.
Nice.
That has been placed here in your little, in the depths of your scarf, I think is what you had used, right? Or something to kind of like bowl, turn it in a bowl. Perfect. So, that being said, what are you guys doing?
Yes, Iskra. Iris.
Well, I'll gather up the coins and stand and go somewhere a little more private, and
Sure.
like try to get Renan to follow if there's like a hallway somewhere or something.
Mm-hmm. Yep, there's like a little like offshoot. There's a bit of a walkway that's got looks like heavy drapes that are currently pulled back that lead back to where the rooms are of this building. So there's not a lot of traffic right now, and it's a wide hallway. So if you want to just like retire there for a second and have a moment to talk to yourselves, you're more than
Yeah, definitely. So I didn't miss what's on the head of our new associate. What do you want to do about it?
We will need to talk to the rest of our group, but if that circlet is leaving the city, I will be leaving with it.
Well, we can't have you go alone. So I'll be going too.
I thank you, my friend. So much. Shall we go play, at least to keep up an appearance before we return to them?
I think that's probably best. It might be to our benefit that we've caught his interest. I'll try to pay more attention to him as I play.
It may be easier to get a circlet, not only once we are out of the city, but also when they're more susceptible to such ministrations.
I think. Look, that's a decent plan, but let's not think about it too much. Max told me something and I believe him. All we're gonna do is we're just gonna go play, do a nice performance, and that's our goal. If we can impress this guy, then that's good too, but we're not planning on anything beyond that, right?
No. The only thought that I am keeping at present is that I will be leaving with that circlet.
Well,
nothing more.
Wherever it goes, sure. Iskra, I guess, wishing that she had her spies murmur, is considering little flashback to Max telling her when she asked for advice about how to avoid the premonitors, is that, well, they can only track what you're planning on doing, so if you never plan on doing anything, they can't track you. And that's how I get around the city, says Spunky Child.
Yeah!
So that's now where she's kind of headed. She's like, okay, wait a minute, we gotta make a plan to figure it. No, we don't.
Yeah.
No, and I do mean literally, like, if it leaves the city, I will be leaving with it. That is my thought process.
So, yeah. She's like, all right, back out there then? right.
You guys,
So, take your hand real quick and pat it, and then head back out.
you guys turn as you've been having this conversation, and you see that Perindel has risen from his lounge with the rest of the merchants there and is coming over to you as you guys go to take your seats.
Mr. DeGomiel, can we help you?
Yes, possibly. Our associates would like to present you to our employer.
Well, we, of course, would be honored. Now, we are performers for a living, though, so depending on what's involved, a brief meeting, of course, would be free, but...
You will be paid for your time.
I look to Renan to see if he feels like this is acceptable.
Of course.
This
It would be
guy
a
with
true
a kind
pleasure.
of mafia-like countenance.
Yeah. There's he is very stone-faced and doesn't seem to be offering a lot more than the very minimum for this conversation. We at the Silken Trade Company will be making a journey soon. As such, our employer... What?
Yeah. No, sorry. I just arrived.
Okay. All right, cool. Glad that you were there safely. As you... hold on. Retrain my thought. Your performance has impressed the three of us, and we are more than confident that our employer would be pleased with your performance as well. Our last form of entertainment on our last journey unfortunately met with an untimely demise. We would like to seek replacements for the next journey.
That is unfortunate. Is there, perhaps for the sake of the demonstration later, any particular languages that would be best met?
He seems to consider... He just looks at you for a little bit, not really saying anything at first. And then looks over at Iskra. I am sure whatever you know will be sufficient. Your Waterdeep playlist seems to be of an exotic nature.
Then I will present more works from my homeland.
There is the briefest little twinge of a curling of a side of his mouth, as if he painfully tried to smile and then realized that it hurt too much and then stopped.
Love it.
Then please proceed with your playing, and we will make arrangements before we leave.
Of course. Thank you for this opportunity.
No. Thank you. And just turns without saying another word. Goes back to sitting down, leans over as the two other merchants kind of get close enough to kind of whisper to each other, and he just seems to nod in the affirmative and looks over to you, and you see the man wearing Renan's circlet raises a glass in your direction and then takes another sip.
All right, well, we pick back up.
All right.
Indeed.
Go ahead and roll me another performance check if you don't mind.
You bet.
Let's hope that we don't ruin our chances of
With
going
disadvantage.
on. What is my bonus? I forgot. A 22.
22. Very nice.
Guess what?
What?
I'm a champion.
Yeah. Because we are
We
the
getting
champion.
paid tonight. We getting paid tonight.
You aren't getting booted tonight. You're not getting booted.
It's a 25 for me.
Ooh.
Nice.
All right. How much longer are you wanting to play for? Like,
I guess.
until something happens, or
Yeah, my meter is gonna be until either something significant occurs or the crew messages us asking us where we are. I think.
Yeah.
Or if like Max comes running back in here like with issues.
bails out with the kid.
which is
No,
what I
something
was
too.
going to say. I was like, if you
So-
play here for a little bit more,
'Cause I told him I would be in here until he got back at least anyway, so
Yeah.
we have to wait at least until then.
yeah. Which is what I was gonna say, that if you play for like, we'll say like the next hour or so, then 100%, the door opens and you see Max with his hood, with his little scarf hood pulled as much over his eyes to where he kind of has to go like this to kind of look. Instead of pulling his hood back, he just kind of like looks up to kind of like peek as best as he can, and then he sees you, and then puts hands in his pockets and just starts to like
Swagger his way over.
Yes, 100% tries to like really look like he's like, almost gives you that those vibes of like in old westerns when someone walks into the cantina and they're like walking with spurs and they're just like trying to act real cool. Literally 100% minus the spurs, but with the big fuck off sword on his back, is walking towards you guys right now, just like he's supposed to be there. There gets to like a small column, like support beam, and just like crosses his arms and then like leans over to it, kind of misjudges how far he was gonna fall, kind of catches himself, but then like continues to lean there and just like watches as you guys play for the next little bit, and then makes eye contact with you, Iskra. And then just like does a little bit of a sup.
I'm during like a pause between our next song, I'm gonna look to Renan and say, "Can you take over for a minute?" And then looking at the audience, I'll go, "Sorry, another little pause. The ale is going right through me."
Perfect.
And I'll get up and I'll walk over to talk to the mysterious Max.
Max just leans over, like does a very slow like look across the room at all of the people that are in there as you approach. How's the cover going?
So far, I don't think they suspect anything.
You
Yeah, we're
guys,
making some coin.
that's pretty cool. I never thought that you could make money from playing instruments. My mom used to try and get me to play all the time, and I was like, didn't think you
Maybe you
could.
should consider it again.
So, did you get a job? Besides this, I mean.
I think so.
Really?
Yeah. Oh, we still might blow it, but we've got a chance to meet with someone.
You gonna tell him that you got a bodyguard?
Well, we're gonna have to leave the city for a while.
That's okay.
Don't you think your dad will miss you?
He doesn't say anything for a minute. No. Probably not.
Can I insight check this?
Sure.
Is his father alive?
Somewhere in the city. There is a skeleton that is in a bed still that hasn't moved in 50 years.
Can I insight check this with the dice that didn't drop on the floor, so I don't know what's going on?
It didn't give it. His dad didn't give him a cookie, and so Limbrinder convinced him to deal with the situation.
Disadvantage ruined that. And I rolled. I mean, I've got a high insight anyway, so it works out to a 14, but it would have been much better.
Okay.
Yep.
Well. What
I can't tell.
Yeah. What are you trying to get? Just like his reactions to bringing up his dad?
Yeah, so I brought up his dad, and he said that he probably wouldn't miss him.
Right.
And so I'm trying to get the sense of, like, is there the way that is he, like, averting his eyes? Is he, like, looking around in a way that suggests that maybe his dad isn't part of the picture anymore? Or is it more of a, like, kid who feels like, my parents don't care about me, I'm gonna run away type of thing, like...
With that, there wasn't any notes of sadness in the sense of grieving, I guess, that from his mention. It was more of consideration, somewhere between sadness maybe and disappointment, and then a little bit of that, like, stealing of one's, like, resolve.
Gotcha.
Oh, daddy issues. Got it. We're good.
Welcome to the club.
Okay, well, in that case, I'm gonna probe a little further and be like, look, we just gotta make sure that he's not gonna, like, come after us or anything, because that could screw up the job, right? So I need to know for sure that if you come with us, it's not gonna end up being a problem. I mean, we're gonna come back, so you could keep scouting here, if that's safer.
I want to go. I have to go. I don't want to be here anymore.
Well, we'll talk to the crew about it, all right?
Okay. Thanks.
Yeah,
he comes over
meet
and,
us
like,
back at the...
he comes up to you and, like, looks like he's gonna try and hug you, but instead he just, like, leans his head on your side for just, like, a second, and then stands up straight, just, like, and then, like, goes off to the side.
I'll do, like, the very quick little, like, side hug thing when he does that.
Everyone's really watching you guys.
Well, that's what happens when you put on a good show.
Well, nobody better mess with you. Or else. He gets a very, like, big guy kind of pose, but then kind of there's a little bit of a smirky smile to him at the same time.
I know we can count on you. We've got backup.
That's right. I guess I'll get out of your way so you can keep playing. I'm gonna go sit over there at the table, okay?
Yeah, just keeping a lookout.
Right. And he goes, what?
Did you find anything?
No. Sorry.
That's all right. Sometimes it doesn't work out. That's why we split up, come up with different plans, you know?
Oh, yeah. Do you think everybody else is back at the Twisted Coin?
I can almost guarantee it.
Okay. What if I go and do you want me to tell them where you're at?
Yeah, actually that'd be great.
Okay. Is there anything else that you want me to tell them?
Let them know that Renan and I might need to leave the city for a while with the soap traders, following something important to him.
Okay. All right. Sounds good. I got this. Keep playing, and then once I go and tell them, I'll come right back. Okay.
Okay. Oh, and what was the ridiculous code name that he gave Renan earlier?
Oh God, I don't remember.
Banan.
No, no. I feel it was like
Not on your fucking life.
it was.
Um,
Oh God, I want to say it was something with wings, but
It had to do with his wings. I don't remember. So we'll just leave it alone.
Yeah, okay.
It
I
was
say
just
it
going
was
to be an extra little
Winged
comical
Boy.
line. But
yeah, God, I don't remember. And it was one of those. In the moment, I came to me and I went with it.
nah, it's good.
All right.
I'll leave it alone.
Okay, so he's like, okay, all right, bye.
I know what we're looking up when we go on break.
He like takes off running out the door. Goes
I am
past.
going to actually head to like. Oh, go ahead. Keep going.
No. I was saying he like runs almost directly into one of the hostesses that is like bringing drinks out. She was just like, whoa, just almost spills some things, and he like just runs out into the evening. What were you gonna say? Also,
to
Saunders
keep up
popping in.
appearances, I am going to go ahead and like walk off into the tavern to either like, I don't know how how sanitation works in Tirtaros.
Sure.
But I
Isra is
will
off
go
to
to
find the
wherever.
loo.
Exactly. Whether it's an outhouse or what, I don't know. But that's where I'll go.
Okay.
She's a brick.
There we go.
Ow.
Outhouse. my dad. I got all that down.
Perfect. Love it. All right. Let's see here. So he goes to take off in the night. You go to find a restroom while you are there. And while heated fall and rainfall showerhead, exactly. It's common fantasy. I mean, it's just a little bit of magic, right? You put a plate of metal under the ground, consistent heat metal going, heated floors, you're good. Rainfall showerhead is just a device that has a portal to the plane of water, and it just like comes down. It's perfect. Got it.
Every now and again, an entire kraken flukes through it.
There have been occurrences. It's definitely my fantasy.
It's on the warning disclaimer.
Yeah, there's like a 1 in a million chance that a kraken might come out of your showerhead. It happens.
Warning,
There's like one of those
unexpected
bathroom
krakens may
attendants like in
occur.
Europe, and you gotta tip them so that they'll start the heated floor with like a heat metal.
It actually has to circulate through the elemental plane of fire to warm it up first.
Yeah, that'd be so cool.
Oh my god, it can be anything's possible.
You know what my favorite thing about this is that there's a much simpler solution. They just invented a boiler, but no, we're just reaching into alternate planes.
You
That's
laugh.
I mean, what's
But that
the
is
point
the
of magic?
entire basis of the Eberron campaign, is that their technology, quote unquote, is just industrialized magic.
And you figure since they is such a magic first type of place, that you know
They got some high tech going on. That's all good.
It's all for the might
You
of
have to-
Fae.
Yeah, it's got to be like a more sort of magical version of the technology in the Flintstones, where like the garbage
Disposal is like the dinosaur.
Yeah, just another little dinosaur. You step on its foot and his mouth opens, that kind of thing.
Yeah, exactly. It's fine. All right. So, aside from appearances, was there anything else you were wanting to go when you went to find the high fantasy restroom, or is it just for the appearances of that?
Explain the 3 seashells. That's all I want to know.
Right. I just know how to use 3 seashells.
I mean, yeah, I can see how that would be confusing.
Anyway.
Was that it? You're just
I don't
going...
think that there's really anything particular I need to do there. Maybe just like reflect on the fact that we're making progress in one form or another.
Okay. Renan, what's going through your head right now?
I've continued to sing, but I'm using some of the magical effects that I have to also kind of increase the flair overall, to try to distract some from the fact that there's no longer an instrument with me.
Sure.
So
yeah.
basically, I've gone full acapella. Call it good.
That's perfectly fine. At
I
one
actually
point,
do have something
sure.
later.
Okay. No, I was gonna say at one point there someone says, "Sing something not in Elvish for crying out loud," but that's about it. That's about it.
So when they do that mid-song, I switch into Draconic just in a flow.
It's like the German equivalent.
Yeah, there's how the person's just like, "Wow, he did it."
I love the idea that Draconic sounds like German.
Yeah.
Right.
At the end of that one, I'll switch into a little bit of Celestial, and then there's just
That's
notes
Enya.
of Primordial that just add some kick to it.
Yeah. All right, so as that's going down, meanwhile on the other side of town.
Okay, yes, wait a second.
Okay, what? Go ahead.
I just got one more thing. Okay, I'm gonna look at my tattoo real quick and like look at the doors around here and be like, come on, like there's I'm alive, so I need to let you know.
Okay. Did you just say that?
Yeah, and I'm like looking at the tattoo. I'm like, I wish I knew how this worked. I'm gonna like grab the door real quick and like open it and shut it and like open it and shut it. I'm like, can I like quick start this?
It's like the equivalent of using the pull start on the mower. You're just like, broom, nope, broom.
Iskar's just in there, down, left, right. Didn't work.
Who does the number 2 diviner work for?
Make AR count a check for me.
Okay. It's probably not gonna work.
We're twinning. No.
I know, right? Well, I thought I'd set my baseline, but I hadn't. It went down.
Oh no!
7. Does not
7.
work, I imagine.
Okay. Are you just slam? See, in my head, I started thinking of the stall doors at like bathrooms, and I was like, just a door, period. No, it doesn't work. But there is a little bit of concentration as you were thinking about this. And in one of the movements of you opening and closing the door, you see your tattoo move with like the motion of fluid inside, almost as if you had just like something had disturbed in the water. So you know how like dirt or whatever, something moves by, it kind of like does like the swirling, like, and then slow motion stop. But as you grab it and pull it, it does a little bit of like whoosh around. Saunders alive! You made it.
Alive.
Why do you look all tall, dark, and handsome?
Yeah,
I know.
I was about to say,
That
he got
mood
a haircut.
lighting.
The lighting in there. Wow. So maybe Ranger's
wait,
right when
finished
it doesn't. Yeah, when Ranger talks about no overhead lighting, maybe there's a thing, something to that. But it looks really good. I love the backdrop right now, Sunder. Looks great.
It looks like I left the money on the counter.
I feel like Iskra.
Yeah. On the road again.
But a mirror.
I think it's
a mirror
appropriate.
Iskra.
You think it's appropriate what?
I think it's appropriate that his shirt is the Mona Lisa.
Hey, amazing. I love it. All right. Perfect. So good.
You saw that just from like this part of the cut.
Wow.
Yeah.
But when you lift it up, it looks like it's spliced with
pretty
Helena
iconic.
Bottom Carter.
All right. So, as you pull that door open, you see out of the corner of your eye the swirling images of the tattoo kind of like move as if like motion, and then you look at it again, but it's still. But you swear that in doing that, you had seen the tattoo on your arm, do the thing.
Yeah, I guess technically it's on my left arm, isn't it?
Mhm.
So seeing that kind of fluid motion, like, is there like a basin of water around here, or like, I guess
Sure.
we do need to know how the bathroom works.
Yeah.
Is there... Okay. All right. Then I'll like put my arm down into it, and think about that instead. I'm like, okay, well, I know the elements. Maybe this is a better way to communicate. And think about how water connects with water and wants to be with other water. How like a droplet will form into a bigger droplet if there's like two right next to each other, and like continue building like that in like a chain. And try to think of that while I try to reach out to either Lady Morn or Crater.
Which one?
And just let them know. Well, shoot. I think of Crater at first, but then knowing that Lady Morn said that he was going to be busy, and I don't know if that's still happening, I'll focus on her instead.
Okay. Make another Arcana check with advantage. So I guess a straight roll.
It's slightly better. Okay, well, I'll get better at this over time, I'm sure. It's just a 12.
12?
But it was better than 7.
Definitely better than 7. What is, as you are focusing on this, and your arm is, we'll say it's submerged in like this little basin of water, this little small sink that kind of sits down into the countertop here, about a foot and a half or so, and your whole forearm is there under the water. There is a moment where your tattoo starts to swirl again. And the writing that goes down your arm, there are those 3 centric orbs that kind of give a background to the writing that goes down, right? The swirls start coming off of your arm and into the water. And the longer you have your arm submerged, that ink darkens the water around it, to leave only the green lights of the stand beneath the tattoo, the marking of the Knights of Silvermoon. And as your arm disappears into that black inky void, those 3 orbs brighten and go into like a triangle shape that just sit there in the water. And you feel a connection. What do you say?
We had a rough time. Might have died, but we're alive now in Tiratoros. Things are still going ahead. Maybe more dangerous.
the glowing orbs of those three eye-looking things that you remember seeing on Morn's face stare back at you unblinking. And then in your mind, you hear a voice. It is good to hear you once again, Guardian. Knight. We will speak soon.
All right. With that, I don't need to say anything else. I'll pull my hand out of the water.
You pull your hand out of the water, and the black, inky void remains. The eyes and the tattoo looks unfazed by this. It looks completely the same way it did when you had stuck your arm in the water, but now that inky void remains with the three glowing eyes that then fade and become clear once again. All right. You back to the room?
Yes. Yep. All right. I feel good about that. It's like, okay, that took a bit of doing, but we're getting somewhere. And then I'll head back out and do something I'm more familiar with, and
Alrighty.
to perform.
Awesome. Okay. Then, as we switch gears, we go back over to the Twisted Coin with Galil, Sonder, Ardrin, and Kindred. Did you stay there at the table?
Yeah.
Okay. What are you guys doing?
Bitching.
Talking about girls
And boys.
and boys.
So Sonder and
Soul left.
yeah,
Did we?
Well,
Yeah,
he went to go take a
Soul
bath, and
ended
you
up
said you were
going
going to
to
go
the
help
bath.
bathe him.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Yeah. You're right. Yeah.
All right. So then it's the three of you. What are you guys doing?
Look at Galil. And under the table, I message you. Yeah. There are some things I want to talk to Strawberry about that I feel she could tell you if you would just talk to her. Because maybe she could tell you some things that I don't know.
I messaged back by casting it myself.
Oh.
Ooh.
I don't need your return to sender.
I can do it myself.
meanwhile,
Really?
Arjun's just at the table looking at them like, really, this shit again?
Do you really want me to try?
Yes.
Can we go back to your room then?
Hey, Arjun, we're going to go back to my room. You want to come with?
No, I'm gonna wait out here and see who stumbles back in.
Okay. You know which one it is, the one with the star. Come on, like do that awkward scoot out of the booth.
Because you were sitting at the far end and you just have to like bounce all the way to the other side.
It's either that or just like slide under the.
Yeah.
I'm bringing the biggest glass of water so I can turn it into wine later during it.
Okay.
Go to my room and do it. And I just want to do a quick check, make sure Max isn't like trying to hide away in luggage or something in here.
Make a perception check. Or investigation, whichever you prefer.
We'll investigate.
Part of why Arjun is staying downstairs is to see if this kid wanders back in or the party does.
Whichever one comes first.
26 investigation.
Alrighty. Cool.
Okay,
no,
so we're clear.
No child.
So, how do you want to do this?
Well, I mean, usually I just sit down and focus, clear my head. That way I can talk clearly to Cart. But he's not the one that you're wanting me answers from, so should I just
do all that, but let me start it because she likes me better anyway, so here goes nothing.
We hold hands or what?
Sure, if you want. And we'll all seance. Just try to reach out and be like, I'm alive. Strawberry. Please tell me you're still alive too somewhere. And I'll give it like a minute.
Aaron, I'm going to focus my ears, by the way.
Okay. What are you focusing on?
That I can hear any prayer or scream of help within 100 feet as well.
Interesting.
You start hearing screams everywhere.
I guess this I guess this could kind of be considered a prayer, so sure. Kindred.
Yeah.
You will wait. And wait. Normally there is that quickening sense up the back of your spine when the presence of Strawberry comes over you. This feeling of other, a feeling of someone else's mind. Unlike any spell that touches two people together, this is different. And there is no response.
So I'll give it like that minute of time to try to... Oh, go ahead, sorry.
No, I'll say make an Arcana check.
Oh. 19 plus 9, 28.
Okay.
I rolled a 19.
Galil, you heard Kindred's words. And the vacuum that happens afterwards. An emptiness. A void. An all-consuming darkness. Kindred, you reach out as best as you can. And that same absence of something. You focus so hard, you almost feel like you go inside out. Your mind kind of sinking in on itself and bleeding everything else of your senses away. Nothing remains. Except for the tiniest of flickers. Like a pinprick, smaller than a star in the distant horizon. If there were a complete void of black that stretched across the sky, this was one tiny flicker. And the flicker becomes a trace, a line that connects you to it. And it's barely perceptible, almost an after image, like seeing a flash of light in front of you that then fades. The more you stare at it, the more it kind of seems to waver and move around, but you know that it is there, that burnt into your retina kind of thing. And you follow that line to that flicker. And from that flicker, you continue to move. And you feel it. And you see that it branches off into two more. And those two more become three on their own. And each of those three branch off to 5. A whole network. And they start popping up, creating this star field in this vast void of darkness. A network of connected dots, but so faint that you almost would have missed them had it not been for an insane Arcana check. And the more you concentrate on it, the more this light from you seems to try and connect to this network. And you have to balance it because it's almost like if you burn too bright, you won't be able to find this map of stars, this connection. And so you pull back, but forward, you are present. You are there. And just as quickly as you had started to discover this network, you get traces of whispers and voices that kind of filter in through your mind. But the sensation is different, whereas before it had been controlled and mediated by that other presence in your head. This is something else. You have not felt the presence of other minds like this before. What has she been doing in these 2 weeks? The minds are there. And they are vast. And they spread. And as those minds start to connect, there is this claustrophobically slick feeling across your mind's body, if you will. A feeling of being compressed in that darkness, as if the void was suddenly you locked inside of a sleeping bag that was being tied tight and you couldn't get out or move. And then you hear it. A voice. Something. Many voices. Something out there. There are so many other sounds, but the one that you remember the most, the one that you were searching for, is there.
My. You've been a busy little bee.
What's this?
I was hoping you could tell me.
There is nothing. It is surprise, recognition, distrust. Galil, as you had felt that all-encompassing void, make an Arcana check for me as well, please.
Oh, fuck. Oh, okay.
It's
blurred.
so
Focus
blurry. I see a dot. It's fine. I'm assuming, yes. All right, nice.
Yeah.
Natural
That's a
20.
10.
That's a 10.
No,
It's a
that's
10.
I don't know why it's doing that.
Because
Oh,
it's-
well. Duh,
It's fine.
blurred background.
That's what it is. It's like
I'm like, why is it not focusing?
that should like
well done.
disadvantage his Arcana. No.
That's amazing. Okay, so that plus, I
Yeah.
got you. What's your plus?
You know what my Arcana? +1.
All right, cool. For Galil,
For
that-
delicious.
that void is there, but something else holds you. You feel like a hand on your shoulder, a warmth and comforting presence. You don't want to go there. You hear the voice whisper into your ear. You can. You can. But there's something that lurks in that void. And if you hold on to it, you might not be able to let go. Please. I don't know if I can trust him.
I'm gonna grab the hand on the shoulder. I won't go, just help give me strength to help protect him.
There is no words. There is a sigh. And it's one of sadness. But there is no words. The void calls to you, though. You can almost feel like that warmth of fire around you, that safety, the flames that you would see at the edge of that disc that burns so bright. You ever seen an image where it's like two pictures in one?
Yeah.
And the more you look at it, then you see that there is another image hidden within that one. And then your brain struggles to figure out which one it is. The flames that you feel there at the corner of your mind that protect, you can't tell if they are flames or they are tendrils of darkness that try to reach out to grasp onto you. And suddenly you can't tell. It's like you look and you can see the burning, writhing flames. But the longer you look at it, it looks like the opposite, the dark, roiling tendrils of something that try and bend and swirl, but can't seem to make it past that light. And Kindred is just on the other side of that. And you can almost visualize him there. A flicker of a presence, not even a form of a body, but someone, something there. And he is standing on that side of darkness. What do you do?
I want to get up as close as I can.
You move forward. And the closer that you get, that presence, you see those tendrils of darkness reaching for him. And one latches on. Quick. It comes in to his shoulder. And that one spreads off. It goes up the side of his head and down one arm. It doesn't... There is no arm. There is no body, but it... In your mind's eye, you can visualize this, even though there's just a presence there. Kindred, this map of stars and connected minds, all part of one thing. There is beyond it a shadow in the dark. It's like when you know that someone's standing behind you, even though you don't see it, that presence that you can feel it there, and it makes your skin crawl. Something in that shadow is out there. But all the other voices there don't seem to see it. Or do they? Do they? That presence once again starts to crawl up your spine. Yes. It's familiar to you now. This is not a trick. You are alive. You turn and see the disk of the eclipse in that darkness. And at its center, a presence that you assume is Galil. You have formed a bridge. What are you doing with it?
Like a bridge to him?
A connection, if you will. You feel Galil's presence there.
Okay, but then the familiar presence that I had briefly spoke with, that kind of diminished out.
It's still there.
Which is very, very
It's
faint.
just faint. Much, much fainter than it was before.
Okay. I'm gonna look up at this image of what I think is Galil and just kind of more mouth the words instead of whisper to you. We should go. And I'm gonna try to come back to reality.
Wait a moment.
I feel like I ignore that and I just come back.
You're muted.
You're muted. What are you saying?
Guess you'll never know. The familiar feeling there. You feel it now where you didn't before. It was familiar and knowing. And now that you try and pull away, you feel yourself tethered, pulled back. Something you had not felt was attached. And you still pull and you can feel that tether pulling with you. It's like bands, like rubber bands or elastic that pulls with you. And then lets go, but is still there. It haunts and lingers, but allows you to continue to move away. And that inversion that you had felt rights itself once again. And it definitely feels like you those little like water slinky toys that kind of just like you could grab on and they just like keep going, the little water worm things.
What are you talking about?
The things that look like a sea cucumber.
Yeah. They were like little toys when we were okay. Well, so anyway, there was a toy for a while that the more you would grab onto it, the more it like
yeah, you can't hold it because it just goes like
because it keeps going. In that kind of
Go
sense,
on, Aaron. Go on.
in that
Go
kind
on.
of sense, it's as if your form had been turned inside out and is now on the outside, and you are sitting there, drenched in sweat. And Galil's eyes open and look at you, and you both know what you have seen. and there is that look of looking into each other's eyes where you like that shared secret moment of just like looking. And Galil, Kindred was not drenched moments ago, and it doesn't feel like it was more than a moment ago. But now you can see just the beads coming down the sides of his face, his hair wet and like ringleted, like as if he had literally just been pulled from the water. His clothes don't look like they've been starting to soak through, but they don't look like, it was not like he's completely like pulled from the water, but it looks like heavy sweat is just starting, and you can see it still spreading across his body.
I remember this.
What is this? Is the temperature hot in here all of a sudden? You were there, you saw that, right?
I saw something else.
That wasn't what normally happens. That wasn't.
What did you see?
A network of minds connected to one thing, but almost like it was hidden so well in plain sight that you would miss it entirely if you even blinked. Something very subtle and dark. Not the sweet strawberry I once knew.
Well, I saw black tendril.
I saw flames.
Cover you.
Oh, shit. Real quick, and like make sure the door's locked and whatnot. And I go and like turn around and like lift my robes up. Is it changed? Is any because I have the tattoo of revenge or whatever it is. Any changes on that?
You see the scars that are on Kindred's back. They look the same. They're starting to heal, but they still look bleak. Vengeance.
They still look the same, and I pick up a towel. Here, you're gonna need this.
Yeah, just start wipe my face and then
His body looks like what mine went through in the abyss.
So I never got back to you on that, but we're gonna need to know what exactly happened to you in the abyss.
A lot of trauma, that's for sure.
Well,
I thought I had a friend down there, but
was it Aliquin?
He was using me. No, apparently the one that I made down there, he was using me to get power, knowledge to take out the Demogorgon.
I did. Hentai. Don't say that.
I've been there. I'm not scared anymore.
You say that, but well,
You've lived a long time.
I guess you could say that.
And you've read a lot of books, so maybe you know of him.
The Muffin Man?
Rubrion. And I cast Alter Self to transform into him.
Does that trigger anything in the old noggin?
What role would you like to use for this?
So that it's also concentration, so my hunter's mark is gone.
Okay. It was worth it.
Seeing the image of what it is, more or less, if I know what species if I know like what that relates to, would determine if it's either Arcana or History. Because if it's like a creature from the abyss,
it is a creature from the abyss.
Arcana then.
I'm gonna switch off from when I first met him, and then transform into the best as I can during the fight that Pigug and them were fighting.
So then who's this one? Or is this the same person?
It's the same person, just
no. I'm asking you that. Like,
me and Pigug saw him differently.
Oh, so he was okay. So I'm rolling my Arcana check with advantage because I have that. Oh,
you trying to remember it, Aaron?
I'm trying to find my freaking notes.
It's on the ground in a blue folder.
Well, that doesn't have it. I was just looking in there.
26 Arcana.
Okay, 26 Arcana. All right. Let me see what's in this one. Because, yeah. Okay, I'm just had to go by memory on this because that note is not. Those notes aren't in that thing. Okay. The first image is not. Doesn't seem to give any hint as to what you might see. This is, I guess, akin to what would look like an ordinary person if an ordinary person gave off heavy creeper vibes and maybe a little bit of castaway, like someone who'd been lost in the jungle for a while but was making do with what they had. There's something unearthly is a terrible term to use in this instance, but there's something that just defies a very strong sense of wrongness with what you are seeing, but yet looks disarmingly friendly. The second
Silicon Valley.
Yeah, there's like that uncanny valley something that's going on there. The second image looks like some sort of cross between a barbed devil and the bone creature that you had fought in Amrutlar on a smaller scale without the large tail. It was still gaunt and skin attached to bones, skeletal almost, but you could see it. The similarity somehow, you can tell this is the same creature but under some sort of guise. The wings that are now unfurled had been used as like a leathery cloak or some sort of wrapping around them, and now a very obvious pair of something used in flight.
Do I like know any information on like what they? Anything else other than just that it's from the abyss for sure?
They act like lieutenants, whatever these creatures are. The little bit of story that you had read in that book, generally they serve one of the princes of the abyss, or are said to serve. This one doesn't look like it doesn't match the level of health or position that the images that had been in that book had discussed. Maybe this was a lieutenant at one time. Someone who had fallen from power, perhaps.
They called him the Mad King. While I'm talking in this forum, I'm actually speaking in his voice as well.
And I relay everything that Aaron just said back to you. Okay. Well,
Khalil, while you were talking about this, reliving those memories, there's something that lurked beneath the surface that you hadn't felt in a long time. And you feel violently ill for a moment as you remembered the temptation to consume people that had become known as friends later. But that hunger that you felt, that twisted feeling of the time you had been there, suppressed memories, it makes you shudder. And you hear that voice on the side of your head once again. Pull back. Your mouth starts to salivate.
You okay there, buddy? You want to come back? Khalil?
It goes away.
So this obviously goes down a rabbit hole of whatever the fuck it is. But I don't want to go down there yet.
Yeah.
I think something happened with you just now. I don't know what it was, but let's not.
What do you mean?
The face you went. Like when I scry, it went somewhere else. And given the fact of what I know and Alequin's track record with a certain prince, he kind of just makes everything go mad eventually. So let's just not look into this further for the time being. We got too much shit on our hands. Deal?
Okay.
Pinky promise.
I'm only going to tell you one more thing that I can only remember. While I was down there, we went to a specific city.
I think I know, without you having to say it.
Mm-hmm.
His city, the princess.
I think so.
Got it. So yeah, let's we're gonna go back and meet up with this guy and get out of town for a few days.
Yeah.
You ready?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Like, do one final look around, make sure I'm like presentable, not all sweaty still from, and then we'll go back out and look for
Kindred.
Arjun. What?
Kindred.
What?
If you hear me speaking in any form of abysmal, banish me.
You mean that?
I mean that. And you see me starting to tear up now.
I like go up and do the thing, I wipe it away. Let's just hope it doesn't come to that, and like tap the side of your face. And then I turn around and open the door.
Immediately
Where's Arjun?
starts talking in Abyssal.
On accident. Oh, fuck. It's like, what are you trying
did
not
that
to
a week or two ago.
I learned this
where
cool
he was-
phrase. What does it mean?
I thought he did that like 1 or 2 weeks ago, where he was saying
Deep
something.
speech and abysmal are two totally different things.
Okay.
Yeah.
It's abyssal, not abysmal.
I mean,
No,
it is
his
abysmal.
accent is
But...
abysmal.
I love it.
His abyssal is abysmal.
There you go. Which
Fair, he only
I
spent,
think,
like,
which I think technically means
miniseries
you
there.
speak it well, because everything is topsy turvy there. So if you speak abysmally, you are doing good.
Oh no, is it the like Superman's Bizarro of languages?
Maybe. Okay.
So yeah, go back to Ardrin. We're gonna head back and meet up with the guy. Were you coming, or how did that work?
How long were they away?
Couple minutes.
84 years.
Which I was gonna say, Sonder, as you're going over to check on Soul, I would like to explore what happens there. But first, we're going to go to break because I just saw the time. Yeah. So we'll start. No, what?
Oh, no. Our minds got raided.
What?
Yeah. That was pretty intense, pretty a lot. It's a lot. Help! It's again.
Oh my gosh, Graham.
What did I do now?
Brigade.
The way that entire scene was described, by the way, that was exquisite.
Thanks.
Very articulate, sir.
Mm-hmm.
Well,
Someone mentioned, did Aaron just come back from a?
That was me.
Yeah.
Did Aaron just get back from a masterclass in creative writing?
There we go. Yeah.
No. Just
sweet Joe.
Just
my chime in was simply
I can't do that.
Aaron out here with a thesaurus.
Sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't work. But anyway,
hot summer
I started
sidewalk.
salivating. By
Did you really?
Yeah.
Heck yeah! Power
I
of
was like,
what's it
Yeah, all
called? The power of
powers.
suggestion. The power of suggestion.
Oh yeah, no. When we were sitting there talking to the guy, the one that wasn't wearing the circlet, I guess.
Yeah.
We're having that conversation, and I could feel my actual heart racing. I'm like, oh no, this is getting a
Dude,
little too real.
It's fine.
This is how Mac dies.
Right?
That personally.
Yeah, it's fine. All right, guys. We'll be back. Let us refill our beverages and
Wipe
all
the
that
sweat off.
Yeah, wipe that sweat off.
God.
Get presentable once again. We'll be right back. Don't go anywhere.
RCAMPFIRESONG song. If you don't think I can sing it faster, then you're wrong. But it would help if you just sing along. Bum,
Bum, bum, bum.
CAMPFIRESONG song.
Welcome back, everybody.
Song.
This is how and why the party finally breaks up. They can't agree on a song, key, or melody at the campfire, and it just involves the in-party fighting.
It's fine. It's okay. This is
I
how.
just love the part where it finally cuts to Patrick and he's like just really struggling, but he gets it finally.
Trying.
He's
CAMPFIRE.
Good word.
amazing.
Good.
I love you guys. All right, cool. All right, so,
F time.
all right, so as we recenter ourselves,
We like dive into the bathtub.
the little water bubble. I need water bubbles to go up the screen. Yeah.
So, in the Knights of Silver Moon merch store, when are we getting Soul's bathwater?
Oh no.
Oh, okay. Sure.
No. Oh no.
Iskra's bathwater.
Soul.
We'll just have a whole.
Bathwater.
Iskra. You can get your very
that's
own
an
bottle of
issue.
Iskra.
That's a whole other thing.
Yeah, so every time you see Iskra in later episodes, she progressively loses more and more skin and flesh. And
Yeah, it's just
I'm just
Iskra in a
gonna,
bottle.
keep lowering my chair slowly over the next few episodes, depending on the number of sales.
I mean, what would you call
no.
Saul's brand? Like Tickle Me Furbolg or
No, I love it. Yeah, I just need a soul plushie. He's like,
I don't know why I
That's
just went to like
adorable.
instead of
Have, like-
barefoot contest, it's just barefoot farbog.
well, okay, I can see that.
I would think that if anyone's gonna have a wine brand, it would be Renan.
Yeah.
That's true.
No,
I
but
know.
now
it
I
would be
really do
Galil.
want a
Or Galil,
plushie
yeah.
of Soul.
With
I really do
Khalil
want
as the
both of them.
supplier.
Are we the winos of the group?
Yeah.
I want
What?
I mean-
plushie Soul to have like a pocket that you can like open it and like fold it into like a cat or into like Soul.
It's like reversible. It's a reversible plushie. So if
It's
you
a
fold
pillow
it in
pet.
right, yeah, the pillow pet. That's what I was
That's
thinking of.
cool.
I can see
That's a
that.
good idea.
Yep, we'll write it down.
You hear that, merch team from the future?
Yeah, you hear that?
We wanted it.
And it happened. All right. Okay. So. As the conversation had become a little too on the nose, and you decided to, you know what? It's time for me to take a bath. You go to at this place. It's very much kind of like a locker room situation, but it's a co-ed locker room situation where you have a couple of baths. That there are no bathrooms in the rooms, so it is just the bathing room, kind of a Turkish bath style kind of thing. It's got a little sunken, heated pool of water that seems to be fed by the stream of water that kind of circulates throughout the city on the little aqueducts and such. But you have a little spot here. There is what looks to be a small kind of like pebble fire where you can like use some of the stones that are there and like throw them into the pool so that they kind of heat the water up a little bit. You're able to take a little bath. And I guess within a couple moments, Sonder comes to join you.
So would you say these are a one-person size little things, or okay?
It's like a little hot tub, kind of a hot tub size.
But keeping in mind of like Soul
Yeah.
size.
Yeah. It's still enough room for like 2 or 3 other people in there. You could probably fit like 5 or 6
gives you
probably
room to
of
get
regular
close.
people, but with you in there, you could comfortably fit a couple more.
Hey, what are you doing?
Okay.
Are you okay?
Yeah. I am warm and having a bath.
I can help.
Okay. So Soul's gonna like turn around so his back is facing Sonder.
I'm just gonna
And-
comfortably like strip down and like go into the water.
What Sonder doesn't see is Soul's face is just like all these different facial expressions of panic.
So we got a lot done today. That water feels good. Yeah, we found someone who may employ us as mercenaries. So that's gonna be good.
Right. So I guess that means we're going to be leaving the city.
Probably, yeah. Well, it depends if. Sorry, steamy room. Depends, I guess, if everyone is willing to. We still need to hear from Iskra and Renan.
And
You
so
okay?
this trip outside of the city is just to make more money, and that's it.
Well, then I'll get in closer. Have you gotten in the water yet?
Oh yeah, I've already been in there.
The water like rises. But
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Well, in Ashton, well, we found these shipments from Jet, Galil's goo and Red Wizard raw materials. So we want to see where that leads us.
Okay. Yeah, I think that would be a good idea. Hopefully we can find this cemetery and get rid of it, and then we can get on with our lives and everyone's safety and, you know.
You can get back to your family.
It would be nice to see them, of course, but I feel that we probably have a lot more work to do.
I'm here through it with you. Anything you need. You know that, right?
Yes, of course. I know I can count on you and everyone, and y'all should know you can count on me too, and we will hurry up and do what we have to do.
I just think it's funny that I just think it's funny that, yeah, for sure. Do you think Pierados will be as strange as Querétaros and all the other cities we've been to?
Well,
can I try to remember real quick? Is Pierados supposed to host a certain lich?
Make a history check for me.
All right. And disadvantage. 15?
15?
Yeah.
Not that you remember hearing. Not that you can think of. In fact, you've heard very little about what's over there. It's just the farthest reaches of the Thayan Empire. It sits right close to the mountain range that used as the border for the eastern side of Thay.
Okay, yeah. Then I'll ask that question.
Well, all of these cities are really strange, and I don't like them. I don't like any of them now that you know who and them are part of it.
Well, from what we've seen so far, evocation's out of the way. Divination. What was Nethjet?
Okay.
Kindred just over here doing charades. There you go. Yeah.
Necromancy.
Two sounds. Sounds like.
I wasn't looking at you.
No, you're good. You're good. He was all like, dude.
If
a Friday night.
If the supplies are taken to Pierados, then maybe enchantment? I don't know.
Well, what kind of spells would enchantment make?
I'd imagine that maybe the clothes would be enchanted. I don't know.
It's a fair assumption.
Yeah, I guess Kindred would know for sure. That way we can have an idea of what to maybe expect from that lich. So I think I'm going to wash my face, and it will be just right back. And then Soul mutters something under his breath, and he dips his head. He lays down in the bath and dips his head down in there. And if he can't fit all the way in, then he'll stick his feet out on
He
the
can
edge.
fit in there.
Okay, so he'll lay down and just stay under the water there.
Sonder, roll an insight check for me.
Ooh.
I need to do it at disadvantage.
Even roll.
No.
Even roll? Oh,
Yeah.
then, well, even, yeah. The first roll was a 22. So,
Because I was gonna give you advantage because of how well you know Soul.
mhm.
Something is up.
What? No.
22! Well,
Yeah.
what is your contested?
No. Like, no, Soul right now is just being like, but yeah, you could tell something's going on. And Soul is staying underwater for
I'm
a
gonna dip
long
just my
time.
mouth underwater, and then in not an Aquan, but because Sunder can speak underwater. Hey, Soul, you okay? You've been under there a while.
Can you do a perception roll, Thunder?
Perception, yeah. $12.
Okay. He probably notices at some point that Soul's actually breathing underwater.
Fair enough. He's just like, I'm just gonna dip my head and then just cast water breathing on himself.
Yep. What he did.
Perfect.
I'll go down in the water too, because Sunder can breathe water. And I'll just
Well
get up
done, Soul.
against,
Well done.
near his face.
He'll never
snaps
get me
his-
here.
He snaps his fingers underwater. He's like,
I'm under the covers. He can't get me. No.
Yeah, exactly.
Are you nervous about this city?
oh, whoa. And it's all like,
Calm
blah, blah,
down.
blah, blah, blah. Yeah. There are lots of reasons to be nervous.
Well, if you want to remain like Soul Kitty while we're here, that might be okay.
Yeah, I might do that. I think if we leave and go do this thing that we have to do and hopefully find this lich and get all that done, and then come back if we have to, find a cemetery, get rid of that as soon as possible, then I think everyone would be okay.
Yeah, great. But yeah, if there's anything you want to talk about, I'm literally right here.
Okay. And so we'll grab Saunders' hand and he's squeezing it maybe a little bit too tightly.
We're going to be okay. As long as we look out for each other. All of us.
Yeah, yes. I think so too, yes.
Wait, what did you do today? We'd headed out and I noticed you were already gone. I told you about my day, so figures.
I fucking love you, son.
Yeah.
Yes, well, you know, I was a cat, and Kindred was petting me, and Kindred was doing Kindred things, and
Could be a multitude of things.
Kindred is very kindred.
Like kindred things, or like kindred things? Just kindred things.
Always kindred things. Kindred is always kindred.
Yeah.
Oh, and
Like strawberry things, or
no, I don't think strawberry. No, and no mushrooms or things like
That's
that.
good.
So, yeah. I am feeling pretty clean now, I think.
yeah, that's fine.
Why do you need to clean? Maybe you should, if you need to clean more, and then I will see you back afterwards.
I'll probably stay here for a bit. Yeah, it's nice.
Okay. Yes, it is very hot, Walter, and
I can cool it down if you want.
no, that's okay.
Yeah.
I think I will put on the nice silk clothing and go to sleep now.
Okay.
It's like 4 in the afternoon.
Well, enjoy your siesta.
I'm gonna go to bed, guys. Good night.
I'll wake you up when Iskra and Renan are back.
Okay.
Okay.
So then we go when they get back to out of town?
When they get back from working, I think is what they were doing. Yeah.
Okay, so yeah, the sooner the better. So yes, okay. I will see you next time.
Okay. Okay.
Sonder.
So like gets out of the bath and is like starting to walk away, and you see him kind of like slip a little bit. Just he's frazzled.
Something
well, I can clear
is...
that. Like if there's water on the floor, I'll bring it back in.
He makes it halfway. He makes it halfway to his room before he realizes he left his clothes downstairs.
That's canon now. So yep, that's what happened.
I don't realize for like a couple minutes.
Amazing.
The only way he's using a towel is for his hair.
Yep. No.
Or on him, it's so tight.
Everything else is bare.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Bare and wet.
Just straight up Donald ducking it through the hotel.
Fine. Arjun.
For awkward encounters.
Dear, sweet Arjun.
Well, let's not go too far now.
All right. I'm all right.
You see a blushing naked furball walking through.
Very quickly go across, and you're just like, what is happening?
Arjun just another damn paradise.
That tracks.
You hear the door open,
I left a yearwood for this.
and yeah, basically, you hear the door open, and some patrons come in, and there's like a couple. There's like at the moment, there's only 2 other people in this tavern, and they just got joined by like 2 more. Seems to be like probably local workers from one of the shops. They look covered in dust and dirt, but they're coming for some dinner, some early dinner. Give me a perception check for me.
Or, with disadvantage still, I believe.
Mm-hmm.
Great. Well, there's 16 for a total of 22.
Were you guys sitting at one of the booths?
I believe we were.
Yeah, because I just scoot out.
Yeah,
that's right.
In
that's
that
right.
time, Arjun's been sitting there with a cup of whatever they have for tea.
You heard a creaking of wood from the bench behind you. But nobody
isn't.
You didn't see anybody. Okay, music, you need to calm down.
You hear a creaking.
You hear a creaking.
Your music or mine?
Behind you. Dun, dun, dun.
It's
you hear the creaking.
No.
Yeah.
Oh.
You turn around. But there's nobody in there.
Mm-hmm.
Oh.
And as you... this would probably be not too long after Kindred and Galil went to the room. And then you hear behind you.
Somebody call.
There's nothing for a minute.
Oh no. Whatever will I do? If only some erstwhile brawny savior would spring forth and protect me.
Travis!
Yeah, no, I already heard that line.
You hear a little bit of a giggle.
Oh no, I'm a furred.
You're dead. I got you.
Oh, you got me. I am, of course, slain.
Did you
win?
Did you did you turn around at all?
In your narration, you had him glance, so I just like
yeah, but then you turn around again.
Just looked. Oh, now you mean? Sorry.
Yeah. If you turn around,
he's not going to.
Okay.
Why don't you come over, sit over here where we're already seated?
Out of your periphery, just out of your periphery, you can see like the top of a head peeking from the
old David Tennant over the back.
He gets off the chair or the bench, comes over and looks around, sits up on the bench across from you, puts his hands on the table. Where is everybody?
Oh, well, they were giving you a chance to pull your little maneuver, which, gotta say, good little trick sneaking on in there, but you overplayed your hand. Oh, God, it's like Soul, but worse. Okay, so...
What do you mean?
Don't use names.
Okay.
Don't just say the same thing over and over.
I was trying to...
You gotta jazz it up a little bit.
I was trying to be creepy.
Well, you know, if I didn't know who it was already, it would have been very unnerving.
Okay.
That's only just because I like to pay attention. Some of the others in the group, they're a little more easily spooked. Now, I ain't going to tell you which one because that would spoil the game. Now you get the fun of figuring out which.
Is it point blank? I feel like he's very scared.
I mean, you can't expect me to give you the answer. That's half the fun.
Okay.
Now, what have you been up to all day?
Well,
and actually, how does he look at this point? Like, what's his attire?
Changed his clothes.
Cloud striped sword on his
back. To get up onto the bench, he had to take the sword off and like place it on across his lap to sit there. You ever seen someone who looks like they're trying to pretend they're a ninja? Like, just wears like all of the same color clothing to try and make it almost look like it's uniform, and it's like all of the dark
mall ninja thumb hole in it.
It's just like, it's probably a shirt that's like inside out, so that the whatever is on the outside looks like it's the same colors with his pants, and just like he looks like he's trying really hard to blend into the shadows. He even has a little bit of a smudges to his face, and his.
Did you say he was wearing spurs earlier?
No, I said he was like walking like he was wearing spurs.
Oh, I see.
Yeah.
Now he's an essay.
Now, and he's got his little hood that just barely is like above his eyes, so that it like he kind of has to look up a little bit to look at you, because if you look like this, he wouldn't be able to see you at all.
I'm just gonna reach over and just sort of adjust the brim of that, just so he can actually, be a person, not a disaster.
Too late.
He's.
But otherwise, he looks fine. Just looks a little like.
Sorry,
like he's been rolling around. No, you're right.
I didn't interrupt the question of what he was up to.
Well, I kind of stayed up all night a little bit. And then I was looking around for the stuff that Kindred told me to look for. And Point Blank, sorry.
There you go.
That was me. That Point Blank told me to look for. And I found some like gems that kind of looked like, I mean, he didn't describe the gems, it just said gems, so I saw some of those. I don't know if it was the same ones, but I found some of those. And then there was a circlet that I found, or I saw at ZZ's on the other side of town. But then someone came and they were looking at it, and I think they were going to try and buy it or something. I don't know.
You gotta get a look at the guy?
Yeah, it was a hobgoblin. But I think he looked like he was dressed fancy, like one of the merchant people. But I couldn't hear what they were saying because I didn't go inside the store.
Was this one of the ones we had seen earlier, just at a character? Was this the one we saw at the...
No.
The Eyes of Voltus? There was,
yeah.
Two different ones in there than there was at the Caravan Cove.
Correct. You saw merchants. I mean, technically out of character, these are all part of the same crew, but this particular guy wasn't there because he was on that side of town.
Just had the check.
Yeah. And then I found the Dragon Puncher. And she was looking for a job. And so then we talked to her for a little bit, and then I showed her around the inner ring, and then I kept looking, and then she started playing music. She plays really good.
Right.
And then I forgot what his name was. The one with the wings. Flyboy?
I mean, between you and me, I just call him Iceman because he is my wingman.
Iceman. Does he make ice?
I have a spell for that.
Ask him real nice, and if it gets like a real hot day out here and we are in the desert, maybe he'll do something.
I've never seen ice. I just know what it is, but I've never seen it.
I'll see what I can conjure out of him for you.
That'd be really cool.
Like, how tall is this kid?
4'2". Like,
okay,
not very tall.
Well, I was thinking about maybe getting you iced tea, but that might already stunt your growth. So we'll try and find something else. Don't worry about it.
Okay.
But that sounds like you did a lot of good work there.
And so Iceman and Dragon Punch. They're playing music at the Shining Eye, and I think they're doing really good there. Like, I only listened for a little bit, but everybody was staring at them, so I didn't want to give it away that I was, that we were on a job. So I just asked her if she wanted me to come find you guys. So I came to tell you. And seriously, where is everybody?
Oh, they got their own little errands. I figured I would stay in here and wait for either them or for you to show back up. So, see, we were thinking about you.
You hear one of the doors open and close a little bit later, and Kindred and Galil come out of the hall down the hallway from where the room was.
I just kind of hold up a hand just to kind of get them to halt for just a second, just to kind of like linger in the background for a minute. And he sort of calls the kid over a little bit closer for a second. Just now. That's all really good work. And I want to help you be even a little bit better at what you're trying to do here. The ninja frock thing you got going on?
Yeah.
Just wear real clothes. It helps you blend in more.
But then if I can blend into the shadows, nobody can see me. Plus.
But when you're out of the shadows, everyone's going to see you. Because you stand out.
Okay.
So, but I ain't going to leave you with nothing. So, you know how you were saying before that you thought we all looked real cool and all?
Yeah.
Well, you're thinking of it in the wrong terms. You see, we don't look cool. We just are relaxed. Because you're just seeing a group of people all kind of, well, maybe a couple of them. People who just know who they are. And when you're comfortable with who you are, you're relaxed. And that's where cool comes from. Style follows after that. So you just got to figure out who you are. But he's going to take off the hat. Until then, do what everyone else does. Fake it till you make it. And he's going to put the hat on top of the kid's head.
Looks at the hat and like shuffles it a little bit. So I should wear my normal clothes so that people don't see. This is your hat, though.
No, it's not. It's yours.
He like looks over to the side, looks down at his lap, and just stays looking down at his lap for a little bit. And then you see him go. And he looks up with little red eyes. Okay. And you're like,
you've been doing good work. Thank you.
Okay. Yeah. Good work. Is there something I need to tell Dragon Punch Lady? What if I call her?
Find that out.
Madam Dragon.
Well, we just call her Iris, but Dragon Punch is pretty sweet.
Okay.
I think that might translate as Shoryuken, but I ain't entirely sure. He's gonna call over Kindred and Galil.
I've been reading your lips, and so I know like this whole like okay. And
Is
when
it
we
true?
walk over, and while we walk over, I'm just gonna like, oh, who's your new friend here?
Point
Arden.
blank.
Oh shit, it's you.
You didn't recognize me?
No, the hat threw me off.
There is no brighter beaming smile.
You know, like scoot over.
He does like a quick little wave at Jet. So
You're looking good in that hat.
thanks.
He's going to lean into him real quick and go, now, the trick is when someone says something to you like that, just give him a little tip of the hat.
He tips his hat like down and then back up
Like
again.
this. And who do you think that guy was? Emilio Estevez, the Mighty Duckman. I swear to God, it was like Emilio.
He like tries to tip it, but it like, because it's still big on him a little bit, it kind of like falls on his face, and then he has to like pull it back up. So now it looks like Woody from Toy Story, where it's just like sitting on the back of his head a little bit. Yeah.
You know, it's Judith from Walking Dead.
Oh no.
Amazing.
Don't worry about it. You'll figure it out.
So, Iceman and Iris are playing at the Shining Eye right now, and they made some gold, and I think they said they had a lead. They had a lead on a job.
They say what kind?
No.
Did. Well,
You
said
did?
We needed to follow the silk traders out of the city.
That's right. I forgot. I was just like,
But if he doesn't remember, he doesn't remember.
well, the DM didn't remember. Little boy probably would have rememred because this is his whole world
he
right
was
now.
so busy trying to coordinate his outfit, so he lost some details.
Wow.
They were trying to
It's like a little
follow.
kid in the cheese ad trying to remember to order Gouda when he gets to the store. So he's saying Gouda for like 3 miles, and then when he gets to the store, he completely forgot what he was gonna get.
The silk trading. Hey, isn't that the guys that y'all were possibly we were gonna meet to protect Envoy?
Yeah, that's a fun little coincidence.
Wait, you guys are going to talk to them too?
Yeah.
We were thinking about it.
We
Yeah, if
just
there's
wanted to
any
get everyone involved first before making a judgment call there.
However, and this is a good lesson for you to learn, when you got a group this size, sometimes having them attack the same thing from 2 different angles, easier to get by. People don't suspect it as much.
Oh,
Okay.
So, if you want to share with our friends what we might be doing, that'd be mighty appreciated.
Yeah, I can get back there real quick. And
Oh,
nobody.
wait, hold on a minute. You got here. You don't want to just get here and then leave. That's how people know something's up.
Oh,
Have a drink, relax, take your time. It's
you see him do like the little
Okay.
frowny thing. I've been going a lot of places really fast. Is that bad?
yeah. But now you know.
Oh,
Just
Okay.
relax. Be easy.
More importantly, have you eaten today?
I had a muffin from the baker lady, and then
I just call over
That's
the
it.
waiter.
wow.
Aaron's just recalling what he's actually only eaten today.
Chicken, roast beef,
bitch,
pizza.
shut up. How dare you?
That's actually true.
Uh,
We're seeing right now.
I know. It's like,
What
how
have you
dare
eaten
you?
today, Aaron?
So,
Dare you with the truth?
for real, how dare you? Okay, so you guys sit here and chill for a minute as some little bits of food have been ordered. Probably there's still some food on the table as you guys had just been eating. So if there's, he probably will grab some stuff there, but you can obviously get some more. Okay.
Kindred.
Yes.
Since both of our groups are converging into this one group, I kind of want to go back to where we woke up.
Why?
Do a little special thing that I can do. And see what has been going on for the past 2 weeks, I guess.
Okay.
If I
But-
could turn back time.
And I don't want to go back there by myself, just in case.
Share as an arcane patron would be amazing.
I know.
Oh my God.
You know,
Ugh.
it could
The
happen.
time wielding
You
warlock.
very well could be.
Patron saint of Dunamancy, if I could turn back time.
If I could
The
find
goddess
a
Cher.
way. Okay. Coming back. So,
Sorry, my bad.
You're good.
sure, let me just fill the other half in and kind of trace my fingers in the air and cast sending to the other half of the group.
You just see Max's eyes go big when he sees like the magic being cast.
I'll never tell.
Or we're just gonna quickly distract him. It's just like, no, you got to work on like the hat teal thing. So let me walk you through it.
Okay.
How promising is this lead? I say go for it. We will attack from different angle. Just stay safe and make sure Max eats something.
Let's see. That was to me.
Yes.
Chasing Renan's circlet. Max wants to come. Thoughts about this? Also, glad you're on board. We have a meeting later. Wish us luck. Ta-ta.
I think that counts as one word. It just got the hyphen in the middle.
So then I come back and I'm like, okay, it's done. She knows.
I love it.
So, how long is this going to take?
Who are you talking to about what now?
I was really about to say I'm looking at Galil, but that doesn't make any sense right now.
So are you talking to me or?
Yes.
Okay, because let's calling this one.
Oh, look.
Mine.
Hey,
Sorry.
we found
I knew-
Oreo.
Oh no!
Came back wrong.
She wanted attention. Sorry. I don't know. It's usually going to be. It just depends how long I'm there. That's it. In and out, basically. I don't want to linger just in case if someone is scoping it.
I'll turn to Max. You want your first inside job?
Yeah.
The trick is relax and just follow us. And I'll turn to Arden.
Everyone's
You
always
okay
telling me.
You okay to watch Sol and Sonder make sure they haven't drowned in the bathtub?
You see a wicked smile spread across
You
his
see
face.
Arjun. You see Arjun trying to compute the notion of a water genasi drowning.
It's possible.
Maybe Soul drowning in Sonder, but
In those eyes.
just
Those eyes.
well,
Those Sonder eyes.
maybe I should just go get them.
Those ocean eyes.
Hey.
I mean, we are trying to do an Ocean's 11 thing going on over here, so
Okay, we'll be here. Go.
Did you
round them up.
cast? Sorry.
You want me to go get them?
Did you cast sending to everyone?
no,
or
I'll
just
go
Iskra?
take care of that.
Just to Iskra. It's only a one person thing.
Gotcha.
I'll stand up and I'll kind of just like shit the hat on his head to make it sure it's sitting properly, and then I'll just go upstairs and try and find them.
Okay. So he like looks over
Or
at
at least
Kendra.
saunter first because he had seen Saul saunter by,
Saunter by.
waddle by.
Yeah.
Naked soul.
Kindred. No. So Max looks at Kindred. So you want me to watch over Sonder and Soul, or I'm assuming you use their code names, or did you say Sonder and Soul?
I said Saundra and Saul. That's yeah.
It's like, okay, so he's not gonna know who you're talking about then, because he's just like the look of like the wicked smile. Now forget the wicked smile, because he's like just very lost. Is like who? But Arjun, go ahead. You were gonna go find Sonder. You go to the baths and you see a body under the water.
I mean, I would have knocked, wouldn't just have walked in.
I mean, it's a it's a locker room shower kind of bath
I'm
scenario.
probably like,
Oh, I see.
I'm probably just like trancing, watching the bubbles like rise. And
If you didn't know that Sonder was a water genasi, you would swear that you were looking at a drowned person in the middle of this hot tub.
Have all the bubbles dissipated, or
Yeah, I mean, it's not like a bubble bath.
Is that all the tension?
just gonna grab a towel and just be holding that up and just sort of reach under the water, sort of like tap him on the head. Just
Taps the wrong head.
I think in medical terms it's called a ping, but
Yeah.
It's called a frenulum.
Anyway, continue.
So, I'll do that thing where like the face just slowly like rises from the water, but it's just
Not
the face.
terrifying at all. What a visual! She's like, what in the fucking like Navy SEALs is this?
oh no,
It's like,
I was gonna say he's more like the woman from Doctor Who. Moisturize me, boys.
There we
I was
go.
thinking that.
Oh no! Yeah.
You
I
you
hope
about
they bring
done
her
in there?
back.
go ahead.
What was it?
You about done in there? We're looking at
Yeah.
heading out soon.
Yeah.
He's holding out the towel for him.
I was talking to Soul. I think there was something bothering him beyond his, and I'll start getting up and I'll grab the towel. Beyond his normal anxiety.
Yeah, kind of caught that.
I would ask Kindred maybe. I don't know.
Well, you don't
He
need to
walked
ask
out
Kindred
naked.
anything to know that he's kind of full of shit most of the time. So the real question is figuring out what he's being full of shit about at any given moment.
Well, what really gave it away was that Soul like rushed out in a hurry and forgot his clothes.
I mean, I was wondering about that, but it kind of seems like he's a little bit more of a
Yeah, I was thinking maybe that too. He's covered in fur.
I mean,
So-
he don't like shoes, and it was a difficult task just to try and get up a vest. So I figured he's just more at home au natural. But
I'm gonna take his stuff to it.
all right, do you want to let him know, or do you want me to go do that?
He was going to take a nap, but I can check on him.
All right.
Or we can go together. That's fine.
Yeah, all right.
How long has it been since he left and went to take a nap?
I think you're muted.
Yep, not terribly long, just a couple of minutes.
Oh shoot, okay. Well, I'll ask him. If it's only been a couple minutes, then he hasn't just fallen asleep yet.
I'll leave that to you. I'm gonna go and make sure that the others haven't already taken off or done something else.
Any leads with
We've left.
Iris? Iris and
Oh yeah,
Flyboy.
they're kind of going after the same group but a different way. So that's kind of to our benefit right about now.
It's a weird coincidence. Okay.
Well, I mean, if the major industry, or at least a major industry here, is caravans and caravan travel and escort and entertainment, I mean, bound to find it.
It works out. Okay. Alright, I'll go wake up Soul and I'll meet you guys there.
All right. And you guys on downstairs.
All right.
We're like waiting by the exit.
And Arjun's going to go pay the tab, whatever it is at this point.
Okay. I mean, I think the last time I had said it was just a gold for everything. I'm just gonna keep it at that. Just that same covered everything, a little bit of the gold covers your meals for your stay here.
Sorry,
So-
I'm paying 1 gold, or we've already paid the gold for our.
Oh, I don't know if anybody paid it the last time. Whatever I
Around 8
had.
in the morning.
Okay, so then
I
yeah.
think you guys are all paid up already for the like hostel food.
Mm-hmm.
It's hostile at this point.
Getting there. Getting there. All right, Sonder, you're gonna go get Soul.
People never heard of fiber out here.
Yeah.
Jeez.
I'll do it quietly and not quietly on the door first. Wait. If he doesn't respond, then quietly try to open the door. See if he's actually sleeping.
So, Soul is on his bed, but he has like all the blankets and pillows like out on top of his head, and covering him. So you see like his legs and feet sticking out from the blanket 'cause it's all covering his head. But he shuffles, like he can hear you, or he hears someone coming in.
Yeah, I know you said we were going to take a nap, but we decided to get together. Looks like the others found a lead as well. Do you want to stay?
When you say get together, do you mean that we are going to leave now?
Yeah.
The
Not leave now, but we need to at least get together to meet with the group and then by sunset let that one guy know we're going to continue on with him as mercenaries.
Oh, okay. He'll just like pull himself off the covers and roll out of bed.
I'll get you a coffee.
A coffee.
Sleepy. Espresso. Chocolate espresso.
Turkish coffee.
I will take the chocolate.
Okay. I'll see you downstairs.
Did you bring his clothes, by the way?
Yeah.
Oh, Arjun has them. Too bad.
Oh.
Just throwing them out the front door.
Oh
What do you
no.
get for being late?
So round up the group and then we'll head to the little place we woke up.
And I'll get Sola from the front desk if they have espresso and chocolate separately. I'll do that.
Want
No.
to see Saul on espresso? That would.
Do
be
they have
amazing.
coffee?
They
Panicked soul
It's
on
the
his
they have some
afternoon.
tea. Some really high like. I mean, you know.
There's not Starbucks.
Yeah, there's no there's no cafe in the lobby in this place.
I'll
Okay.
take the white chocolate
Sure.
peppermint.
Peppermint bark, please, thank you.
Oh, you mean this?
Is that what you're drinking?
Get him a tea then.
Nice.
Yeah. Something
Okay.
to wake him up.
Yeah, something like that's easy
We're all
enough.
tired.
So Soul will change out of his silk pajamas into his normal clothes and armor.
All right, then you guys head out back to the southern side of the city as the sun is starting to set. With your the evening now approaching, the people that are out in this different sections of the city are settling in for their evening or nighttime meals. lights are being lit, lanterns bright and giving light where the shadows of the canyon are now starting to cover everything. The heat of the sun from the day seems to almost magically start shifting into just comfortable warmth and even maybe a little bit of a chill as you are walking closer to the water. But you manage to get to the southern sides of the city. So, as you guys are doing that, we will skip over real quick to our musicians. As you guys have continued. Yeah.
Are the breakdancing now?
Yeah. They are now you're now playing Rawhide for the 50th time in a row.
Blues Brothers Rhythm and Blues Review.
Yeah.
Freebird.
Oh man, I think it.
But we'll say that as one of the points whenever you take a break, the merchants from the Silken Trade Company come over to you, the three of them. You have already talking. You have already spoken to Perendil de Gomio, but he comes over. Allow me to introduce my companions. He gestures to the man that has Renan Circlet. This is Spurius Delaz. He is our merchant of magical items for the Silken Trading Company. This here is Gallus, gestures to the hobgoblin. He is one of my security advisors, along with Arcadios, who's not present at the moment, but you will meet soon. If you would, are you finished for the evening?
Yes, I think we're about wrapped up.
I believe so.
Then I will take you to go and meet with Liao. He is our head merchant and the owner of the Silken Trade Company. He is the one you need to impress. But with skills...
I'm sure we'll do just that.
With skills such as yours, I'm sure you will do fine. More than adequate, actually. So, follow me.
Of course.
I grab my Santur and with a little twist on the table, set it back on my back.
Spurius, the man who has the circlet, looks over at Renan and cocks his head to the side. You're an interesting creature. I don't believe I have made the acquaintance of an elf with wings before.
We are very few and far between these days.
If you indeed wind up signing on with the Silken Trade, I would be very interested in hearing where I might speak with more of your kind. Perhaps we can find some sort of deal. I'm always looking for interesting trinkets from beyond the reaches. The Empire will always pay good money for such things.
I am certain they do.
Just kind of nods and follows Perendil. You see the hobgoblin man, the Gallus, kind of just does the little cross-armed thing and waits to follow you two as you to follow you both as you leave the Shining Eye.
I kind of as I'm passing him, I just give a light nod and then walk behind them.
Is the only thing he said. Just Okay, let's see here. Leads you out into the inner ring and out into the evening air. As you can see, the sun is starting to set now. The rest of you marching through the outer ring of Tiraturos, you eventually find yourselves in the southern gardens and homesteads of Tiraturos, and the small abandoned looking house that you had come from. What do you do? What are you guys doing?
Is it still them or us?
You. I said you guys got to the house that you had.
Okay.
Yeah. You five.
Hey, attention!
Arjun's just gonna stay
You know what? My
outside
mind's
and
on a
keep
little
watch.
like edge right now, so shut up. No.
Yeah. Oh my. Yeah.
So yeah, I'll head back into this little. Is there anyone in there? I'm gonna like. There's no squatters.
Nope.
Everyone over 47th.
Okay, so what is it you wanted to do here?
You open the door.
Yeah. I'm gonna open the door and see in to see if anybody's down there.
I just did that.
Yeah. In the first glance, Kindred, you see nobody, and Galil, as you open the door and look inside as well, it is a haunting sight. The thought that but a few days ago, you had emerged from beneath the floor of this place. And looking at the floor, its broken section in the dark pit from whence you all crawled out of. It is dark. There is no light in here except for the light coming in through the door. What are you guys doing?
I pull out the dagger,
Okay.
Make sure I'm
cast light on it.
as I enter. Make sure I'm like out of the public. I wave my hands and it lights ablaze as I cast Control Flame to just keep a flame on my hand for light as well. What?
What are you doing, kid? Sonder? You're such a dork. I love you. Arjun, what are you gonna say?
Oh, Arjun was just gonna keep watch outside with Maxwell. He doesn't
Okay,
need
so-
to see what's in there.
Okay. You see,
so it's gonna be outside as well.
okay. You see that Max occasionally like looks over his shoulder, like trying to peek in to see what the others two are doing, as he kind of like peeks around to see the light and the flame that you guys are casting. Why can't we go inside?
Somebody needs to keep watch. And you've proven you got a keen eye for all the things you've been able to find in just the short amount of time.
Okay. Kind of looks a little dejected.
I'm out
but,
here too. But Arjun's out there too.
Yeah. Looks a little dejected, but he's okay. Goes along with it. Kindred and Galil, what are you guys doing?
After looking, I'm gonna go jump down there.
Okay. You it's not like it's a far drop. It's only a couple of feet in, and looking around it, it's kind of chilling.
This
The
is kind of
pods-
chilling, isn't it?
The pods remain, but they have dried completely. They look almost like what like they have hardened a little bit, but and also like shrunken down, almost like when you had to take banana out of the banana peel off the banana, and it just kind of starts to brown and just kind of looks so strange that it's lost its form. This is almost the same. All the sections Jez had broken out of, it looks like from there it just kind of like sagged and then dried into like where it becomes cement like almost. But they have lost
like the cicada bodies that you see stuck on the.
Basically,
if it's that, if they had lost its shape and have kind of just like sagged and then hardened to that point of becoming brittle. It looks like they should still be soft, but they have hardened, and you touch them, they kind of crumble like clay.
Cool. So
Just
back here.
Just days ago.
Now what?
well, it usually requires touch, so wish me luck.
Good luck.
Good luck. And I'm gonna cast detect magic while he does this. I can just keep an eye on shit.
Can I do a perception, or I guess investigation would make more sense?
Sure.
To see if, like, Gabriel, the 47th, was here after, from what we had seen before.
Make that investigation check.
And I'm gonna, to myself and out loud,
Okay.
I know you're gonna sense this, and I hope you do. I want answers. And I'm gonna start touching the pod.
Okay.
Okay, Carp. Afriel. It's time for answers. I'm gonna open my eyes, start gonna glow, and I'm gonna try and force a vision out. See what all that pod has been through in the past 2 weeks.
Which pod are you touching?
Ooh.
Roll a dice.
The one to Kindred's.
Oh,
Good choice.
Interesting.
this music.
Right.
I think.
Where's my pen? I'm gonna need notes.
Okay. Roll. What kind of roll would you like to use for this?
Ooh, this could go either way.
Mm-hmm.
Harder dice, where are you?
This drum.
For approps.
What's that game?
Do I want
Mhm.
history or do I want... Would this be religion or history?
Oh, what are you wanting to use? What power? What side of yourself are you using for this?
I guess religion, since it's
Okay.
oracle.
Is that me in the corner? Is that me on the spotlight?
Losing your religion.
I mean, I hope.
If he rolls low, maybe.
Yes.
Oh, yeah.
Someone throws a moon at him.
I'm gonna use divine... the gift of the gods if it turns out bad. Oh, I don't need that. Okay. 18?
Okay. You go to the pod that Kindred had crawled out of, placing your hands on it. Kindred, are you down here with Gulliel?
Yep. With detect magic on, just waiting for some shit to happen.
The room is vacant of magic, minus the things that you know on your person and his.
Mm-hmm.
When Gulliel casts the spell, there's the instant divine magic aura that encases his entire self, goes out through his hands and spreads along the pod itself. It's almost like watching lightning in slow motion crackle and move across the pod and down around it, and you can see it kind of almost crawl up the sides of some of the neighboring pods themselves. And they just pulse with this light. The brightest points on Galil's body are his eyes. And it's probably mostly through because of that detect magic that his eyes become pure starlight. It's like looking into the cosmos through his eyes themselves. And they are both brilliantly white, but yet at the same time and in their center become these voids of darkness. And you can almost swear that through those tendrils of light that encase the pod, that has almost that shared brilliance. Galil, your eyes see only the pod. And it's like watching something in reverse. It's this strange watching Kindred crawl back into the pod after you've seen it rise up and become what it had once been. Pieces kind of fold in over themselves as they only focus on this one object. And it's dark. There's nothing but this pod. It's like when you've watched Stranger Things and they're in the vision world and it's just black and focused object, right? There's nothing but this pod. It sits in darkness, but you feel like the time is passing. Day, perhaps after day, it just sits there. Movement. It shifts like something moving underneath it, just like undulates and shifts over and moves a little bit. And it sends a shiver down your spine as that seemed to come out of nowhere and you watched it. Probably it would have happened very slowly, but at the speed at which you are viewing this past event, it is unnervingly quick and like liquid, like something inside of it shifts and moves and is struggling and is moving back and forth. And then it stops. And then you see light, briefest of moments, cast over this thing as if something had once covered it and is now open. Figures move around the pod. It is now a lot closer together, almost like it had been placed here and had grown and spread itself out to become what it was. A now smaller, cocooned looking human, almost like watching a mummy, somebody that had been wrapped up. Slightly thicker than that, but not by much. You can see a very obvious head shape, body shape, and bodies placed upon bodies, all wrapped, cocooned, mummified in a pile. You recognize these shapes, and you start to your breath starts to catch in your lungs as this is you. And Sonder. And Sol. And Renan. Wrapped. But not with fabric. No, something had wrapped your bodies and you keep pushing further back and you see suddenly your bodies all laid out. You can't tell if Kindred is alive or dead. But he lies there naked before you. And you can see the vague shadows and shapes of you and your companions at his side, unwrapping themselves. You know you're watching this in reverse. It's like you have seen this in rewind. But the full body becomes unraveled as something had rolled you. Almost like a spider encasing its prey. It had wrapped you, but it was not a spider. This was a humanoid creature, and it had encased you in something. But the bodies had been transported here. Whatever time had passed in their transport had been there. Yes, they had been there. Somewhere else. People standing over you. Children standing over you. Adults. Children. Kindred's body turned over, and the scarred mark of the word on his back, vengeance, being carved by a child with a massive clawed hand. You kind of slow and focus the image as you like. Where would you like to focus this?
On the one carving.
You try and visualize it from another angle, and you can feel the sweat starting to come down your spine. You know this child. You saw them briefly. She's taking vengeance. Vengeance for what was done to her and her family. You see the snarl in her face. The sick smile. You see a gnomish man speaking to her. He places a hand first on Kindred's body, then the next, then the next. Sickly purple-green light going into each of the bodies as he stood over them. Which direction do you move this image? Further back? Everything kind of happens in that really fast forward rewind kind of thing, and you can shift the vision to focus in on specific moments.
I want to go back to what was wrapping us.
You focus back on that moment, moving through the footage, as it were, as you kind of go forward in time once again. The bodies being transferred, people walking back and forth and around, 2 dragonborn women standing over your bodies, guards, servants, people moving quickly. Then to the moment, a troll-looking creature, large-limbed, gray, white hair going down the back, seems to be pulling thread from her hands and just using it as magic, seems to be lifting each of the bodies to wrap them slowly in whatever this stuff is. You have never seen this creature before. And it moves from one to the next, wrapping them quickly with ease. Disturbingly so. And then again, continues from one to the next to the next. And you see 2 dragonborn, once again, going from each body with the gnomish individual. Almost as if verifying, checking. And then you see servants.
I'm gonna remember the dragonborns, what they look like from there.
You recognize one of them if you focus in enough. You focus?
Yeah.
Your attention shifts momentarily. A brief moment where this one dragonborn comes over to Kindred's body as if inspecting. And she runs a clawed hand from one side of the wrapped corpse up to the other. This was Amaranth. She seems to be speaking to somebody. Another taller dragonborn. And you only know this because the hood that is covering her snout is the only thing visible, but you see the snout.
I'm going to pay attention to the other one.
It seems more to watch Amaranth as she looks at each of the bodies. But you can see that Amaranth stopped on Kindred. Specifically. There is the slightest curl of a smile on Amaranth's face. But there is no sound. Where do you focus now?
What happens next?
You fast forward through the vision. They move away. They are gone. Your bodies are huddled together, moved. You can't see where they were to begin with, but you can see that they have been lifted and are all placed relatively close to each other in a small, cramped spot.
Can I say how they were lifted?
People, servants, lifted as if carrying body bags. And they are piled on top of each other in a cart, a carriage, a large box. But they are cramped and thrown in there like refuse. And there's nothing there for a while. It's just the bodies piled on top of each other. Until they are moved again. Removed one at a time. And there is a little bit of time where one is taken. And then another is taken. Then another is taken. And finally, when it comes to Kindred's body, it is placed close enough in the space that looks exactly like where you are at now. And as you continue to watch that wrapping, that fiber, whatever it is that is wrapped around your bodies begins to expand and grow until it becomes the cocoon that encased you all. And then the violent thrashing begins. Not just on Kindred's, but all of them. Shifting and moving as if fighting for some sort of escape, for some sort of life. And they shift and move and writhe. And then are still once again.
I'm going to come out of it now.
Kindred, in the time that Galil has been observing this, his breath is ragged. He keeps holding it, and you wait for him to try and breathe. And then it holds again. It's like each breath intake and exhale is almost violent. And then snaps out of it.
Just hand him some water and like, just drink.
Sonder, and looking around, what was your investigation check?
Sonder did not investigate.
Very well.
He forgot how.
What did you roll? What did you roll?
2.
Okay.
3.
So,
Or was it a 2?
so what happened? You started to, but from where you were standing on the floor above, you see Galil. You aren't seeing it through the same eyes that Kindred is, where you can see the veins of magic, but you see his eyes become those cosmic voids and burn with that same eclipse-like fire around the edges. You see him gasping for breath as he seems to be focused and now tied, as if he tries to pull away on occasion from the thing, but doesn't. He's like trying to lift his hand and it won't go. But Kindred doesn't seem concerned, and so you kind of just wait and watch it play out. And finally, Galil snaps out of it. You lost track of what you were trying to look for because this was very distracting to see.
Ooh. Was he like gasping for air during it?
Yep.
Like
Exactly what I
all over again.
Yeah, basically.
Ugh.
But unable to breathe.
Just like he'll breathe in and it's just ragged
It's like
and
when
violent.
newborns cry and they hold it forever, and you're like watching them, waiting for them to inhale.
And then he exhales and then just like holds his breath again. Each inhale and exhale is ended with like this punctuating like holding of air. But he eventually snaps out of it.
Do that. It freaks me out.
I'll just be like patting his back. Then if he looks like he's struggling, yeah.
Okay.
Breathe. Take a breath.
I know who saved us.
My face just who?
Who do you think is in the city?
Then she didn't lie. But why? That's what I want to know.
Didn't lie about what?
What she may have conveyed at one point or another.
What are you talking about?
It's
Soul can't hear any of this, right? Because he's outside and this is all happening inside.
Make a perception check.
Okay.
insight check.
Go for it, if you wish.
Got a 19.
I will say, if the door is open, you can hear the conversation now. A little bit. Not super loud, because I'm assuming they're not talking loudly, but you will hear that they are talking about something. And probably a couple of keywords now and then. Same for you, Arjun, if you wish to be listening.
Arjun would have led Maxwell a little bit away from the house after a certain point, to kind of just, instead of just be watching from the house, be watching like from the side of the road or whatever.
Yeah, especially I guess if you were hearing, you could hear the the breathing thing going on.
Without any context, I just realized.
You're like, well, we're gonna leave them alone for
no time to be hitting that dusty trail.
Soul's gonna be listening more intently now.
Okay. Sonder, what'd you roll for your insight?
Not great. It's not been a good. It's 11.
11? I would say that you would at least see a little bit of relief on Kindred's face now that the secret is out.
You would know that, like always, Kindred tries to choose his words very carefully.
Yeah.
To hide things or to not give away certain things.
Trying to like meta game this.
Yeah.
But also context clues where.
Yeah. No, you're good.
Yeah.
Just
with.
Well, we weren't with you.
Is that why Soul was acting weird?
Oh, I'm sorry, what?
look over and just smile at Soul, or you can definitely hear me, Soul. Let's just say the less we say about it, the better things are. But
Blink 3 times if you're not okay.
Well, it is getting really late, and we should be going now to do to leave the city and find the lich and stop the lich and find the cemetery. So yeah, we should do that really like now.
you okay, Galil?
Let's walk and talk.
Okay, I help you stand back up and on your feet, and we'll head to wherever Arjun and Sander lead us to this guy.
Galil, roll for me on your oracle table.
Fuck. And
While I was doing that, we do start to walk them to the caravan cove, I believe
Sure.
is what it was called.
Yeah.
D6 or D8?
I still love that Amaranth saved us.
Dr. Skinny.
That stupid bitch.
I'm gonna relay to Sonder and Kindred while we're talking.
Okay.
While we're walking.
Wah, 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 wah.
That yourself.
Okay.
What happened?
Yeah. Oh, it's a D8.
What did our bodies look like? Were we torn apart by the children?
Yeah. Did you not see?
No, I didn't see.
Yes.
I was pulled under. And
Thunder's body looked abnormally dry.
oh, yeah.
Where's Discord?
Arjun's going to be leading ahead a little bit because it sort of seems like whatever they're talking about is a little intense.
Right.
Trying to buffer
I have
the
a-
kid
You see Max is just kind of like, is he okay?
Copy, paste.
I mean, it never is. But see what you and I are doing. We're being the forward scout. We're trying to keep an eye on, keep them kind of safe.
Like he keeps walking. And
Usher long, usher long.
It's not bad. It's not great.
cool.
Yeah.
Cool. All right. You see,
It's not a field day.
you see, Max just keeps looking back and then looks at you, Arjun. And there's kind of like, it looks like he's, you have seen the expressions on you all's faces whenever you have a telepathic conversation.
Mm-hmm.
You can see like the reactionary things that your face automatically does. That is happening for him right now.
How long was Galil in his vision?
45 seconds. A
Perfect.
minute, maybe.
I've kept detect magic up, and while they're walking ahead of us, I give them a good look up and down. Max,
Sword is fucking magical.
as I figured. So then, Galil, you said you catch us up on what you saw.
Yeah.
After getting the general description, I'll go up ahead and try to switch off with Arjun.
I mean, I was in the middle of something, but all right.
Oh shit, you were. My bad. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
Well, it was gonna wait for Maxwell to finish whatever conversation that he was having before interjecting.
It just seems like it just continues to go on. It's like he's like
Little spurts kind of thing.
yeah.
Okay.
Let's see.
Who you talking to there, sport?
It's fine. It's just Limbrinder. Lenny.
Who now?
Limbrinder. My friend.
Well, tell me about your friend. He devours from below. We know. We got it.
He like looks up at you. Make a persuasion check for me.
Oh, no. Would you say that it would be with advantage and therefore a flat roll because of the sweet moment with the hat?
Sure. I will. That sounds good.
Nice
19.
stuff.
19. Then Brenda and I have been friends for a while. He's trying to help me get out of the city. He knows that I want to leave.
Why do you want to leave?
Because it's boring here. I just stay home all the time. My dad just wants me to be like him. And my dad is boring. You guys are exciting. And then Brenda thinks you guys are going to be good for me.
So, who is Limbrinder?
He's my friend.
Well, sure, but where is he?
He's invisible.
Insight check?
Sure.
Did we hear that?
I don't know. I'm
I'd say
imagining
it's
you guys are
during-
having your own conversation.
Fuck.
Because Galil's currently talking about all of the things right now.
You got me there.
Ooh.
But-
Disadvantage. A 9.
Make a perception check for me.
Perception.
No, sorry, Galil. Sorry.
Oh.
Yes. You said what was yours, Arjun?
With disadvantage, a 9. It would have been a 19 otherwise.
He's very hesitant about what he's talking about right now. Like he feels like he shouldn't be talking about it. But that's about as much as whatever else. It just gives you that vibe, you know? What'd you get, Galil?
For perception?
Yeah.
18.
You ever been talking to people and you catch a word from somebody else's conversation and it just kind of makes you pause for a second? You hear him say, "My friend's invisible." And you stop. And you, as you're like mid-sentence and you're talking, you're looking at Max. But he's not walking. He's not moving. He's staring. And there's blood coming out of his mouth. And there's blades that are going through his body. And that's where we're going to end for tonight.
And thus, the fate of another kid is sealed with the brigade.
Don't bring these kids with us.
Hey,
We
kid, you want to
curse.
come with us?
Is that what it is?
You want to buy some candy?
Here, hold
I
on to
hate
these
you.
black blue.
I knew you were going to have a field day with that one.
I don't know what you're talking about. I am just the messenger. You
No,
did the
actually,
thing.
Will's the messenger.
I did the thing.
You did the
I'm
thing.
paying for the thing.
So if he dies, can I get his sword?
You are. He's not dead yet.
He's gonna be.
Don't you have enough voices in your head already?
Shut up.
Gotta catch them all.
And then if
Yeah, I
we
was
add
just
the
about to
people
say
who
that. Pretty much
actually
Pokemon for
exist,
him.
the list continues.
Oh man.
Kindred's like the video game character where it shows the inventory and there's all this stuff in there that the person couldn't possibly be holding on to all of it, but it still does.
You're thankful I do that too because I pull shit and get us out of situations.
Well, that was a very entertaining session. Oh my gosh. I
That
can't
was all
wait.
the things.
It had everything except for combat, but it had everything.
Except for combat. I'm
there
okay
was
with
combat
that.
in our mind.
Yeah, it was a fight going on in the brain. But looking forward to starting up with Renan and Iskra and meeting Liao and the other heads of the Silken Trade Company, seeing where that's gonna go as the party is walking over to the Caravan Cove to see how that's gonna go.
But
Now
before
that
that can happen, Iskra needs to roll a die to see who's doing the recap for next week.
You beat me by one. That's what I did this for.
So I
Woo.
did earlier, and I landed on Renan. Renan, are you willing to take it up again? I know you've done it kind of recently.
Yeah, no, I'll do it.
All right.
heck yeah.
Renan, you went like this, so that means you have to do it as a surfer voice.
Tubular.
Soul has spoken.
Radical, dude.
Dude, I gotta say, a tier 2 is not gnarly.
Oh my gosh.
Like, this place is sick, but
You did not just
that
shoot that
kinda
sword like a ninja.
sick.
Oh my gosh, I'm excited. Well, this has been fun. It has been great. It has been great fun.
For you.
What? You didn't enjoy the topsy turvy? Look at those beaming smiles, except for yours. But look at all the other everybody's beaming smiles.
I don't know if I'm getting burned alive by some magical flames or ripped apart by
Really,
some black
Taco?
tentacles.
Last minute posture check. All right.
Oh, thank you, Taco. Never a bad time for good posture. Wow, thank you. Server.
Oh,
But I did like the idea of me as Heidi Klum.
Oh my god, so good. So good.
No kidding though, Graham, because wings are screwed. I'm getting dragged across the desert to try to get my own stuff back, including y'all stuff too. Ridiculous.
We'll see. We'll see what all happens next Tuesday.
This is so not.
If you wanted, I
stellar.
could just send you back home and you can be done with us.
You could.
The longer this
That's
goes,
true.
that becomes more of a viable option in his head.
Aaron,
What?
if I get banished, where do I go back to?
Your home plane.
That
Rivian?
doesn't really.
Yeah, you go back to Rivian.
Okay.
Yeah, you go back there, and if I keep the spell up for the entire duration, you're stuck there.
Well, ish.
No,
At
I
least
just
for the
have to
time
find
being.
another way back.
Oh yeah, he's until he finds his own way back. But my part's done.
We did you get to play Homeward Bound. You just gotta find yourself a sassy and a chance.
I'm sassy.
Homeward Bound.
Cats
Oh,
stroll
great.
and dogs stroll.
Gonna end up pulling a Galil, but instead I'm in my own world.
Yeah, it's just as terrible. All right.
Next
Somehow it's
session,
worse.
Soul's gonna look at.
Go ahead.
Soul's gonna look at Kindred next session and just wonder how long he has to keep up this gay panic.
Oh, it
I'm
was so
telling you,
good.
I seriously forgot that you had an actual secret. I just thought
Yeah.
that this was Soul having gay panic because Soul came into or Cassandra came into the bath while he was getting all naked.
Yep, that's totally what it was.
No, but I said that loud enough that way you would know that the secret's
A bit of
out, but let's
conversation
not
of it.
bring it out.
Yeah,
Right.
Yeah.
yeah. No,
Little
it's all
bit
good.
Yeah.
Good.
It's
Column A, column B.
all good.
Yeah.
It'll be great. All right. Well, we will see you next Monday, so we can see what happens to Bijan and sister Daria. Darla.
La 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 la.
God, Daria. God, why is it the name?
Diarrhea,
I was gonna say,
cha-cha-cha,
and Sister
diarrhea,
Abton,
cha-cha-cha.
like you're a freaking nun. Sister Abton was the only thing that came up. I was like, wait, that is not right. But yeah, Dario.
You're standing
great.
on my neck.
Yeah, it's super good. I'm excited to see how that story goes. And then Tuesday, right around the corner, it's gonna come by so fast. And then it's gonna be, feast day shortly after. Man, this month is already almost over. What the heck? So fast.
I feel that on a
Next week is
profound
Thanksgiving.
level.
Oh
What are
my
you
gosh.
thankful for?
I'm thankful for
But
D&D.
Thanksgiving was last month.
Well, yeah, for you.
Yeah, but y'all are weird.
Y'all- you have early. You're just ahead of the game. They're just ahead of the game. That's all. It's fine. But yes, we will see you soon. So be brave, stay fey, and we will see you next time somewhere here in Thay.
And
I
gobble,
wish
gobble.
the days away.
Yeah. Bye.